back to the Camp Savage Show. I am your host, Donny Savage, and it is imperative that you know that if you're new here, you are in good hands. I promise you that. And if you've been tuning in since day one, I love you, gang. I appreciate you. And if you're new, you are now a part of Camp Savage. All right? Thank you for tuning in. Now, let's make it do what it do, even if it don't. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a translation for you is get done even when it feels impossible. I know you're trying to figure out how I put that together and drew that correlation, but it made sense to me, so I'm just passing it along to you. So you know what? It don't even matter. Just don't be trying to take my all right? But speaking of getting done, kind of switching gears on this episode, I want to give a major shout out to all the car enthusiasts. Now, I'm saying that because I'm a huge car fan. Like, I love muscle cars. I mean, obviously, I love the German, the foreign cars, but it's just something about muscle cars, you know. It's my thing. The Camaros, Mustang, GTs, Challengers, Chargers, you know. Within the last couple of years, I've seen the emergence of like the car enthusiasts on Instagram, and I'm talking about pages that dedicate all their content towards their cars. Now, some of these are faceless. You may never see the owner, so it's only the car you'll see. You know, slow motion videos, videos that you'll utilize on CapCut with dope transitions, things of that nature. But for the ones that have a face behind the brand, it's so smart because they're winning. They're getting these sponsorships to aftermarket parts, exhaust systems, tires, the whole nine. And they are really, I would say, true content creators. They're dedicated. So that's the first thing I want to do. And if you're not a car enthusiast, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm just giving you some game. But they create a mixture of car content and lifestyle content. And I'm just one of the people that I consider myself to be a fan. I'm on the outside looking in, and I can appreciate the dedication. So that brings me to my next point. The guest that I am bringing on today is a hell of a content creator. And the good thing is, he has a solid career outside of that, and it meshes really well with what he does. He's a car salesman, but this man is a top performer. He's a 1%er in the company, and it just so happens that he's a content creator. He went viral back in 2020 during the pandemic, creating music videos on the car lots and just adding the element of comedy to his content. And he took off. He had the likes of Barstools, write articles on him, Microsoft. Some of his favorite rappers reached out to him, Machine Gun Kelly, Chief Keef. I don't know how many of us can say that our favorite artists will reach out to us and give us our props, you know, but I think that's a big deal. So I'm bringing on the man, the myth himself, Mopar Brody. I don't even know if he wants me to use that name. That's Brody Elder, a.k.a. Mopar Brody. You know, what do you guys think about my man Mopar Brody? Story, insane. The dedication, insane. And the fact that he's still a top performer in his own profession is a big deal. And hey, kudos to you, bro. Thank you for coming on the show. We definitely got to do that live, because we all about challenging ourselves, right? I told him I will hop on live with him, get that first one started, and then he's gonna get the ball rolling after that. All right. But hell of a conversation. I hope you guys liked it. If you're tuning in from YouTube, or if you're listening in Spotify, Apple, I appreciate the listen. And on the Camp Savage Show, you know, we're bringing some really dope guests on with some amazing stories, all different walks of life, and we just keep it organic. That is going to be the bread and butter of this show. It is the bread and butter of the show. I'm not going to say going to be. That's how we rocking over here. And thank you guys for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the homie on here, Mopar Brody.
How's it going, guys?
Man is a legend. The name speaks for itself.
Yes, sir.
Where you chiming in from, bro?
I'm actually in northern Kentucky, but grew up in Cincinnati area. They're right next to each other. So basically Cincinnati is what I tell everybody.
Okay, all right. You know, I didn't know you was from the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah, I tried not to look into you too much before we did this. Just did a quick Google. Yeah, Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When'd you move out to LA?
Dude, oddly enough, 3.5 years ago, 2 weeks before the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, I spilled right into the show and just been trying to navigate ever since. You know, it doesn't, when I look at my journey here, it's hard for me to count it sometimes because it's like I was just getting the ball rolling and then shut down. Hollywood was at a standstill. I mean, obviously everywhere was at a standstill for the most part, but Hollywood they were OD. They were really OD. It was a different ball game, and every single thing was shut down out here. And now we're in these strikes. We got
the writer strikes.
So we had the director strikes. They came to a settlement. The writers, they literally just came into a agreement within the last 2 weeks or so. But the actors, we keeping this ball rolling.
And that's what you're trying to get into, right? Like that's your industry is acting now and modeling or.
Yeah, it's been well, just to give you some context, social media has been my bread and butter. Okay. And then with that, gave me some leverage, and then I was able to integrate into Hollywood and, you know, do my thing. So, but
give me a quick origin story then. So Michigan to LA, nobody just does it for no reason. How'd that come about?
Well, for me, it was actually like the 8th or 9th year anniversary of the video that changed my life just a couple days ago. This was October 7th, 2015.
Okay.
And for those that have been tuning in to the Camp Savage show and you follow me on social media, you know the story. But if you're new to this, here we go. I'm about to hit you with the bull. 2015. It was in Miami, South Beach. To sum it up, I ate a Hershey chocolate bar seductively under a tree. I had a cashmere sweater on. It was a slow motion. R. Kelly song was playing. Don't judge me. Yep, I said R. Kelly. It is what it is. R. Kelly was playing, and then it just took off, yo. On Facebook. Oh my God. It was like 2.8 million views in 24 hours.
Hell yeah.
And then from there, maybe 2 weeks later, getting inquiries for music videos in LA. Mind you, I had never been to LA before. So my first time to LA was a Chris Brown music video.
Oh, so that was that one where he hit you or whatever.
Yeah, he cold clocked me, and to give you some context about that particular scene, we rehearsed it a couple times, obviously.
Right.
And I mean, if I would have stepped 2 inches forward, I'd have been laid the fuck out. I'm just keeping 100 with you. Like,
right.
There was no room for error, any mishaps, and he'd have knocked me the fuck out. And I don't even know if I would have been able to sue at that point because I knew it was coming.
Yeah. You had to hit your mark then.
Absolutely.
How many was it? One take? Was it a bunch of takes?
Maybe like two.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah.
I was trying to get it done. He was trying to get it done, you know.
Right. Yeah, I know a lot of times with filming, because I do like a little bit of professional filming, if you will. Like they just try to get as many takes as possible, even if it looks like it was good. Right. Just to have more stuff to use later, just in case. Like more film's always better, they say. So I was just interested in that, it being a music video and whatnot. But so you went viral at a time that was like big, where like nowadays every third person you see has, 500,000 followers. It seems like every time
it's
somebody's
so watered down.
yeah, like you're TikTok famous. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you can call it that anymore. And then like, yeah, my cousin has 600,000. I'm like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like everybody's got these followers, but you did it at a time, 2015, dude. Like that was like kind of like celebrity status, you know? Back then, if
Yeah.
you were to go viral back then, like it was a big deal. Whereas now everyone goes viral sometimes. It seems like
Yeah.
if you post enough. So like you hit it at a time that like could change your life legit. And
Yeah.
then when I hit back in 2020, that was when TikTok was just picking up. It just transferred over from like Musically
Right.
or whatever it was. So I was like one of the beginning stages of like virality on the TikTok platform, like
Mm.
before it really, really, really took off. So that was where I got lucky is I got in early on the TikTok platform. But you went on
And
Facebook was yours?
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was, I mean, obviously everybody had Facebook at that given time, but I was fairly
Yeah.
new to Instagram for the most part. You know, like I was a real estate agent at the time, so the most I'm posting is open house, a showing of a crib or something like that. Nothing too crazy, but I was testing the waters with modeling at the same time. I had a homie do some test shoots for me, and I was just toying around with the idea, and then I had somebody who has some juice in the game in Miami that reached out and was like, "Yo, I wanna work with you. Like, let's shoot." And at that
Oh yeah.
time, that was a weird time because I mean, obviously, like even the way we connected via DM, like that's a
Mhm.
common thing now. Around this time, a stranger hits you up and is like, "Yo, I want to shoot with you," or "Let's work together." It was a little more. It was uncommon and a little more sketchy back then. So you
Is this
really
2015 era?
Yeah. This is still
Okay, yeah.
2015. So like for me, I'm doing all my research, all my recon from top to bottom. Like I
Right.
gotta know exactly what I'm getting into. But
So you and I grew up in the same generation.
yeah,
So I'm 28, you're probably like 31 or something like that,
yep,
32.
31,
Yeah,
31,
31. Yeah, so like we grew up in the same, we would have been in high school together. So
exactly.
yeah, so we grew up in the same era. So we really, honestly, our generation, not to make anybody mad, is probably like the best generation because our childhood was like pre-technology, and then we
Yep,
grew with it. Like we had those little prepaid text phones as a kid, you know what I'm saying? And then we got the first smartphones and like around high school, and then social
yep.
media, MySpace during the middle school to high school years type of thing. So
We had
yeah, we
balance.
yeah, we did. We got a little bit of both. Now,
Yeah,
like my little sister knows nothing but like they had Snapchat at 3, like so
that's
they
crazy.
they live with it. It's a different. That's why they're probably better than us though, because they
Oh, for
they grew
sure.
up playing with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So you ate a chocolate bar seductively.
Yes. For and like for
Maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't know.
and and like speaking of your story, like what made you want to jump into content creation? Because I mean, obviously you're doing your thing in sales. So like,
Mm,
what was it strategic or was it like I'm about to
nah.
try something new?
No, actually, it was always there. Like
Okay.
ever since I was a kid, dude, I remember being like 5 and listening to like Eminem and I'm like, man, one day I'm gonna be famous. And I just felt it. It was the weirdest thing. I mean, I don't know if manifestation's a real thing, but it feels real because
I'm
I've
gonna say
like,
so.
yeah, I got Facebook posts back from like 2010. It was like, just wait, you're gonna see me everywhere one day. And then, hit World Star, Barstool, whatever. But anyway, in high school, like I started off rapping. So I used to like post raps in my bedroom that would get
Okay.
like 20, 30, 40, 50, 80,000 views. So like it was to the point where I'd go out to like a bar or whatever, and I'm like, you're that dude from Facebook. So I like even from a teenager, I was getting noticed locally at least for
Mm,
what I put out. And then I started in the car business. So we kind of have a similar, you were in real estate, I was in the car business. Believe
mm,
it or not, they're very similar. Like,
yes.
so I had a boss and some coworkers, and they had already put out a music video before for the dealership. And I started working there, and they're like, dude, you can rap like for real. So I got in a couple of them, and they got, 100,000 views, whatever, got like a buzz going and whatnot. And then I had left that dealership and moved to Dodge. because I was working at Nissan originally, and
Okay.
COVID
Okay.
COVID had just started. Like now in the car business during COVID, everything was shut down. Everybody was terrified. So nobody was buying a car for like weeks. Like we didn't
Hmm.
see a customer at all. Like because nobody wants to spend money when they think the whole world's about to end. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
no.
So yeah, so I was just like, screw it. Like let's just film a funny video because I'm used to putting myself out there and I was always the funny guy. And I was like, I'm just gonna walk around this car and act like a country dude and just say some funny things about it. And my friend had just made a TikTok. I didn't even have a TikTok, it was his.
Oh
And
shit.
we filmed it and I put it up and it was doing really good on my Facebook. And he that same night he was like, dude, can I post it to my TikTok? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. More views, better. And then it got like over 1 million. Like by the time I went into work the next morning, he posted it like 10 the night before. And then next thing you know, like it started popping off pretty big. So they were like, we should do another one.
Damn.
Yeah. So I did the second one, and the second one went 10 times bigger. And it was on World Star and it was on this and that. And everybody was talking about it. Then I was like, damn, like at first I was like, did I have my 15 minutes of fame? Like, was that it? Like, and it's gone. Then the second one got bigger and I was like, okay, I might be on to something. And then I did a third one. And the third one was where I punched a balloon and I'm like, woo. And I have the spiked up hair and I'm around my black Hellcat Challenger. That one did combined from like Twitter, Facebook, all of them. I would say roughly close to 80 to 100 million views.
Shut the f- up.
Barstool posted me
Yo.
twice, that video twice,
Yo.
and just one of Barstool videos has almost like 30 million views. It's like 26 million just on one of their videos they posted on mine, and
Damn.
they did it twice. I didn't even check the views on the second one, and then I would get on TikTok. I don't even have a Twitter. I'd get on there, and somebody would tag me, and they'd be like, "Yo, check this out." They send me a link. I get on there, and then my video had 10 million views on Twitter on some random dude's page, and that's when like Michael Rappaport was sharing it, Boozy Badass. Chief Keef hit me up. Um, who City Girl shared it. Then Sweetie and Megan Thee Stallion commented on it because she had just came out with that song Hellcat. That's a SRT. So that's why
Okay.
she shared my video. So it's perfect timing. Yeah. So like, and then Barstool did an article on me, and I think that is what really gave the fame to everyone because I was on everybody's Snapchat story. I was on the Barstool page, obviously, and then World Star had me on the cover of their page too at the same time. And then hell, I went on MSN just on my computer. I didn't even know. Like I just get on because every time you open up my internet browser, MSN popped up. I was on the cover
Yeah.
of MSN.com too. So they did Microsoft did a article on me too that I didn't even know about on something called The Drive. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm on the cover of that too. It was a real cool moment. But it felt like I said with the manifestation thing, it kind of felt like this is a long time coming. Like I knew this would happen.
Yeah.
Now I thought it would happen with like rap or something like that, but it ended up being comedy, which is not as surprising because I was always the funny kid. So like it
I
kind of,
just
I don't know.
I
It was a
love
weird,
stories like that. You can't for one, you can't make this and
right?
there's no amount of money a person could front to even buy to create this. It's
Yeah,
completely organic. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Damn. That's a lot of
yeah.
views, bro.
But what's crazy though? Yeah, but here's the thing: they were all stolen. Like my views on that
Ah,
video,
right,
maybe
right.
somewhere around 8 million. Mine stolen views. So I think about how many followers and how much money for like video retention and stuff like that I would have gotten that I didn't.
Right.
Um, but it was a negative and it was a positive because although none of those people tagged me, I'm sure there's people who've seen their video who recognize me in public and still take pictures with me and stuff like that, even though it was stolen. They're like, you're that guy from that video, so I'll take it, even though it didn't directly turn into like money or followers.
Right.
Um, although money's never been the driving factor behind my social media, to be honest with you. Like I make plenty of money in car sales. So um, I'm not really too worried about that. And the one thing I know about social media as I've gotten into it, even though I've always been into it, is the
Mhm.
more that you do social media as a job, the less I like it, because it got to a point where all these
True.
brand deals were coming and I'm like Pennzoil, the oil brand,
Yeah. Yeah.
Pennzoil,
Yeah.
they
Huge.
paid me, yeah, they gave me $4,000 for like 3 videos that were 30
That's
seconds
love.
long. Yeah, I was like, damn, that's fire. Well, that's just a big deal, you know. But like honestly, by like the second or third video, I'm like, because they made me post one a week, and I just had my full time job. Plus, I was making my own videos, plus working with all these other companies, and it became like a task rather than I want to be
Yeah.
creative and have fun. And I kind of felt I was like, ooh, I can see where this whole obligation could depress somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you really like, if I relied on this for my source of income and I no longer loved it and it felt like work rather than like a passion, then I could see that becoming an issue in the future. So that's why I still have my full time job. You know, like I did a merch thing for a year or two. I was making like
Yeah.
decent. I could live off the money just off the merch alone, but I never quit because I was making more in car sales, and I knew if I quit car sales, then I'd eventually go back to it because I get tired of the obligations of
Right.
because this stuff ain't free. Like if somebody's paying you, you got to give them something, and you might not like it.
Yeah.
So
That's
and I'm
true.
sure you understand that we weirdly have kind of similar stories, like except for you took a leap. You went to LA.
Yeah. Look, life be lifing, man, and it's like,
Yeah.
uh, and here's the thing. It was like real estate was going well. I was in my rookie year at the time, and I would get this just influx of emails, and to the point where I didn't even know what to do with everything. Like
Hmm.
there's there's a certain level of I guess just information and expertise that you gain being in the game for a certain amount of time. And I can't say that my skills were sharp enough to just take on all these new leads. So I wanted
Right.
to attempt to create a team out of it or something, like
And this
so
was
everybody could
in real
benefit.
estate.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
But
Cool.
but it was like everybody wasn't on the same page with that wave. Like I
Yeah.
would totally be down to pass off leads and be like, hey, just give me a fee on the back end, whatever the case may be. But it was more
Right.
or less like this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't know when this will ever happen again. So I'm like, I'm going all in, and whatever happens, happens.
So
And
so did
that's
you have so I know that the first one you did was a Chris Brown music video. Did like when you were in Michigan, did that idea get set there and like you were supposed to come out and film that, or did you not have anything and you went out to LA and then got the role?
um no, like that was a direct booking. That was a situation where I was literally in the barbershop getting my hair cut, and my manager at the time gave me a call. And I mean, I declined it, sent him the voicemail because I was getting a cut. But then he shot me a text and was like, yo, call me back ASAP. Chris Brown wants you for his music video. And he was basically saying he handpicked me.
Hmm.
So I was like, all right, bet. Say less. I'm like, hey, hold up. Pause the fade real quick. And
Yeah.
I called him back. And I'm like, so, when do we have to leave? He was like, tomorrow. Oh,
Oof. It's
shit.
always like that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And it's
That's
really up to
funny.
you. That's the thing, man. It's a catch 22 because it's like if you don't go, you don't take the opportunity, you don't know what could happen. You don't know
Oh
what
yeah,
it could
you
turn
had
into.
to go. You
Yeah,
had to go.
had to
I
go.
would. I'd drop everything right now, and everybody would understand too. I'd tell my boss like,
Yeah.
"Hey, they already know because I just got back from a social media trip, um, literally just a couple of days ago. So I pretty much come and go on those trips as I need to, and
Mhm.
still like stay at the top salesman level at my store. Um, so number one, even if I wasn't famous, they let me go anyway because I'm always going to finish first. That you can't. How you argue with that? But number
Right.
two, they realize that I kind of have a thing going here, and if I had to choose, I would probably choose the social media thing over it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't because like you said, you never know if it'll come again. So you got to feed it while, strike while the iron's hot, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had a manager you mentioned though before the Chris Brown thing. I had always thought
Well,
about getting a manager, but
it was like he was my videographer and my photographer, and it kind of just eased his way into that role because that's what I was dealing with at the time. And mind you, like I'm new to entertainment. I don't know anything about showbiz whatsoever. So it
right.
kind of it kind of just made sense at the time.
Yeah, yeah, I did the same thing. So when I had an influx, my finance manager, he's a killer,
Okay.
man. He can he their job is to negotiate getting people to buy things that technically aren't tangible, like warranties and things like that. You're convincing somebody to spend three, four, $5,000 of their money on something that they can't see, touch, feel, or fall in love with. So that is by nature a very good negotiator. And I thought, you
Yes.
know what, this would be the perfect guy to start taking all of my emails and all of my calls. And he started negotiating contracts with businesses and this, that, and the other. So he was involved with the Pennzoil and a lot of the stuff that I'm in now. But quickly though, I realized that like I could just do it myself, and I took over the role of managing myself. Like, just hit me up, whatever, yada yada yada.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had the same type of thing. Just whoever was around you, like you take that role, and he pretty much just absorbed that for you, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it lasted a couple years, and then I mean
It
had a
never
falling
lasts, does
out.
it?
No, had a falling out, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I
Really? Oh,
have
that's
no
good.
complaint. Yeah, because I mean you figure out a lot of things, in hindsight, like things start to make sense. Like damn, nah, I probably should have handled that, or I don't think they had my best interest when it came down to this situation. But like when you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what you don't know, it's hard to take the initiative to step up to the plate because you're still trying to figure things
Yeah,
out, as you go.
100%.
But like looking back now, I'm 10 times sharper. I'm on point. Um,
So, so do you manage
I,
yourself now?
yeah. I'll negotiate my own deals.
Good.
I mean, I'm in the midst of looking for a social media agency. I mean, just because I mean I'm in LA. It's a thing out here, and there's some really good
Mm,
agencies, and they have relationships that I don't have, that I don't even have pull with. So
yeah.
I'm looking at it like let's put our tools together, let's put our resources together, and this can turn into something else. Because when it boils down to it, even this podcast that I'm doing now, this is my bread and butter now. I still
Oh,
can't believe I'm
so
doing this shit.
the podcast thing is the bread and butter for you? So,
Well, as far
or
as like
just
my main
social?
focus, my
Okay.
main focus, yeah, like
Okay.
I've so earlier in my career, it was more so lifestyle, men's lifestyle, fashion, a little bit of travel in there. But as I've gotten older, and I would consider myself to be an OG in this,
Mm,
everything kind of boils down to having your own products and services. Like, do I like brand deals? Yes. Are they lucrative? Yes. But sometimes it could just be a little too pushy, you know? And
yeah.
and I mean that in regards to, like your audience may not be receptive to that,
They're
or the
not
brand's message.
typically.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. When you
Typically.
can just kind of organically, like, hey, like Godspeed, this is one of my homies' brands. You know what I mean? That's my
Mm,
dog. But the next couple months or so, I'm gonna be rocking my own. If I can
right.
just plug my own merch in, whatever I got going on, and it's just off the cuff, and it's
Yeah.
more organic, and it's authentic.
I'm surprised you haven't done that faster. Like that kind of seemed like the only thing that made sense for me. When
Hmm.
I got to that level of notoriety was like, okay, video, like views pay you a little. Like back at the
Right.
top, like now they pay garbage, but like, you could make like 3, 4 grand a month just TikTok alone. If you posted a video every 3, 4 days, it got, 3, 4, 5 million
Right.
views. Now it's much less. It seems like it's hard to even make like a grand or two a month on that. But um, brand, like your own branding, your own merch was like that's how you make the money.
Right.
So just because I just took notes from every freaking YouTuber out there, every single one, Mr. B, you name them, anyone that like that's anywhere near viral online, they all have their own merch brand, and I was like, yo, that's what I got to do. And I mean, dude, it was great though because I'd just be making money in my sleep. I'd wake up like 15, 16 orders, and I had a family member who was like a stay-at-home dad, and like I just bought all the shit. He made the shit, shipped the shit, got the stamps, everything, took care of it. The only problem was with me working full time, I took care of all the customer complaints like, oh, hey, it's been like 4 days. Where's it at?
Right.
Like, where's like, hey man, give it up to a week, yada yada yada. Or I ordered this, I wanted that, just customer complaint. I started thinking like, man, then when the tax bill came due on it, I was like, oof, I don't know if this is really worth it. So
Yeah.
until you hire somebody else to take care of it for you, it's definitely hard to do it on your own. But other people that I know in the industry, like Robert Frank, I don't know if you know that guy. He's the one who's always in the gym. He's the tan guy with the beard, and he's like, on Monday we do chest, or like any type of screaming video from the gym. He's just a big old buff dude. He does his own. He's
Okay.
got millions of followers. Um, but he's got a good thing through Steel, which is I work for them too.
Okay.
And where he kind of can use a little bit of their resources to make some things happen. So but if you hire an outside company, though, you lose a lot of money because the outside companies want to take most of the profits and give you like 15, 20, 30%.
Right.
So if you get in with someone else and they're, manufacturing and shipping, then you just get the 20% off top, and that ain't worth it to me.
Right.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm surprised you've been in it this long. You could have made a killing, dude.
Well, it was the situation with the old manager. It was like I didn't even want to do it at the time because I can already see where we were headed, and I'm
Mm.
like, I would rather this just crash and burn before I have to deal with this person
Oh, he had you that
and
bad.
yeah, and give up my bread. I'm
Mm.
like, it just doesn't sit right with me. I'm like, I'll wait it out. I will wait it out. It doesn't even matter because like I'm in a better place now, especially creatively.
Yeah.
There was a time where I used to do the teaser videos, the lifestyle videos, all of that, but wasn't as comfortable in front of the camera as I am now. But that comes with taking acting classes and actually being in films and TV shows. Like it forces you
Mm.
to look outside of yourself. It forces you to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So now it's like it's freeze. So like
Right.
timing
You
is
got it.
everything.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask though to that whole acting class point that you made. I already feel decently comfortable on camera. Like I mean,
Hmm.
obviously I've done tons of videos, which was a surprise for me because you said that because I was like, but you came out with that video, you
Hmm.
know. So other than getting comfortable on camera, do you really gain a lot from those classes? Even like Denzel Washington still takes them to this day.
Yeah, yeah, it helps. It's like the overall maintenance. You know what I mean? When you
Okay.
think about it from that perspective of you're always sharpening your skills. You never fall off. Now, I can't
Mm-hmm.
speak for all acting coaches because everybody has different methods. But my guy Greg Sims, he's a different beast. Like he's a person
Mm.
that I would recommend to anybody because I was under the impression that you had to physically be in a class with a bunch of people to really, hone in on the information.
Oh, that's how
And
I thought it went.
that's typically how it goes. But due to the pandemic and everything, we were on Zoom, and
Mm-hmm.
his particular method is so effective that it really doesn't matter. Like we work our acting skills at the desk or wherever you may be. Like we're really working, and
Hmm.
it blows my mind. Majority of
Art.
everybody in the class is book, and I gotta throw this out there. He is an instructor and coach that actually books himself. So he's constantly working. And for me, I'm not listening to somebody that hasn't done the work and I can't see the give me something tangible to show for it.
Yeah. Yeah. You ain't
So I
gonna, some fat guy is not gonna give you advice on how to get a six pack. And if he does, you're not listening. So that's
exactly.
exactly what you're saying. Yeah. That makes a
Yes.
ton of sense. So I mean, I've seen a little bit of like what an acting class looks like. Specifically on a show called Generation Iron. It's a documentary about like one of the biggest bodybuilders ever, Kai Green. He quit and he's becoming an actor now. He's been on Stranger Things and stuff like that. But in that documentary, kind of showed him in some of his classes, and the techniques were definitely weird.
Yeah.
Like saying the same thing different ways with like five different people, like bouncing and making weird noises with your mouth and being weird. Like, does your guy do that type of stuff? Like, is there some really unorthodox training to these acting classes or
It is. It is. It's just it just varies, you know, from because obviously you have more intensive techniques that you can go to because there's definitely levels to this. I just appreciate my guy Greg because he can bring anybody in versus, I mean, if it's a beginner, if it's somebody
Mm,
that's been in the business for a minute, he can tend to their needs within the same class and it doesn't feel like anybody's like missing out on anything.
mm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
he'll have that person that's the OG work with the person that's new, but he's still walking you through the process. Like he'll have you close your eyes and you're literally okay, this is what he does. He has this situation called your it's your essential action and it could be like to make someone feel bad about themselves or something like that. Okay, that's just
Mm,
hypothetical. As if you're telling your homeboy he needs to lose weight or something, and, you know, like you try to be nice to him, it doesn't work, so you gotta be on 10. So now you can
yeah,
put yourself in that setting, visualize it, you close your eyes, and then he'll have you speak out loud as if you're talking to that person. He will be that person on the other end, so he's putting you in the moment.
right.
So at that point, if you do have a script next to you, you have some sides, you can take the emotion and the setting that you're literally acting out, then turn to your sides and give it that same tone. So it essentially works like magic because you're still in that moment, and that's what blew me the way. I didn't know it
Hmm.
worked like that. You know,
No. Yeah, that
it
is
was
that is crazy. I couldn't imagine being put on the spot. Everybody, I feel like everybody thinks they can act. I feel like everybody thinks they can act. And then like you put them on the spot, like, okay, you're 16 years old, you just asked your dad for your first car. Go. You know what I'm saying? And then they do terrible.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So like once you get put on
I
the
mean,
spot, it's a whole different story.
to be fair, that's more improv. And now
Right.
improv is a skill set in itself. Like that's how you can have people at the Groundlings Improv out here on Melrose, and these actors specialize in being put on the spot and just rolling with the punches. Like that's its own technique in itself.
I think that's kind of like the coolest one, to be honest with you, because
Yeah,
it's a lot like freestyling
yeah,
in
basically.
essence. You know what I'm saying? So if you can pull that off and make it look legit, like there's a beauty to that. I feel like there's an art to that that is just impressive because I don't know if I could do that. Have you ever tried that? Like I would feel like most acting classes probably have some level of improv, like
Yeah,
not specialized in, but some level of, because I would imagine when you're on screen, there's all types of movies and TV shows where the actor forgot their line, so they came up with their own on the fly and they use it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
same,
yeah,
same.
okay,
I've definitely done it before, and it's like once you get comfortable enough, you can start to explore a little bit. You know, um, for instance, there was a movie I did with Chris Stokes and Marcus Houston earlier this year. It's called No Way Out. It's on Tubi. I was playing a detective, and there was a scene where we had SWAT, and there was a hostage situation, and we're all, you know, the whole SWAT team is aiming their guns at the front door of the motel. My guy has a gun to this chick's head, and I kind of improvised some lines. You know, Marcus Houston
really,
pulled up. Yeah, Marcus Houston pulled up, and I guess he was friends with the guy
that was
that
inside with the
had
gun.
yeah in the
Hmm.
movie he's supposed to be friends with him, so he's pulling up to basically diffuse the situation, talk to him. But before he was gonna run in there, I'm like, hey, I gotta put this vest on you. And I can't remember the line I said, but it was just a little sprinkle at it. It just felt right in the moment, and I just ran with it, and it was like okay.
Right?
So I got a
Did they
chance
put
to
it in?
yeah yeah
Nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly right. You're like, dude, this feels right. I
just
get that all the time. Yeah, so I do. So most of my videos that I do now are, so the first couple, I should add, the first two videos that I ever did were
mhm.
100% off the cuff, one take videos. I didn't do two tries. It was done in one take from start to finish. All the jokes I came up with and just said them. Like it was like freestyling, but for jokes. And but I learned by the third one that you can't walk around four wheels, two doors, an engine car, and come up with different jokes every time because it gets harder. Because it's the same
Yeah.
thing you're talking about, but you got to make a different joke that's still funny. So I started having to write them, um, which is kind of beside the point. So I can't really say this for my videos because at this point in time, they are. I write them ahead of time now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to filming for my other businesses like Pennzoil or like steel supplements or anything like that, like I get the opportunity to really create a vision there, and then like I feel things on camera as well that like weren't exactly as planned, and then I get to
Mhm.
implement them on the fly. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of relate to that in a way, but not as big as you. I don't have a movie on Tubi or nothing. I'll just wait for you to get big, and then I'll play an extra.
Look, look, we on our
I'm gonna
way.
be in them DMs. I'm like, I know there's another spot to that red carpet.
Hey, look, we are on our way, man. And what's so dope about the social media space now is that you really don't need Hollywood
Mm-mm.
to gain, I guess the
Notoriety.
upper yeah, notoriety and like the upper echelon of resources you typically wouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
access to.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing the work and you're creating compelling content, whether it's funny, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's heartfelt, whatever the case may be, those opportunities will come to you to the
Yeah.
point where you
Well,
won't have to fish anymore.
in ways that you never imagined. Dude, I am just a
Yes.
white kid from Cincinnati. I grew up listening to Chief Keef in high school and Rick Ross and the Funk Flex freestyles with like MGK
Yep.
and all the rappers he has on. They've all reached out to me and messaged me. Like
That's
they all
dope.
know who I am, and that is the weirdest thing in the world, is it not? And
Yeah.
I live in Cincinnati, dude. Like that is crazy to think. Like these people, I was a little kid. I didn't know anything about the world at all, and these people were famous, you know, and now I'm a grown man and they hit me up on Instagram. That's the weirdest thing in the world. It's so surreal. But the one thing it teaches you though, I feel like even though people still get starstruck, but the
Mhm.
more you interact with people of that caliber, you realize, dude, they're just people too. They're just
Yes.
people, just like you, just like me. So that makes me a lot more comfortable getting into situations like you know this or meeting somebody of some power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I mean, you were around Chris Brown. Now that at that point for you, I'm sure that was like, oh, and I'm sure you were really nervous at first.
I was nervous. I'll put it like this. I was nervous all the way around. I was
Oh
not
yeah.
star not starstruck, but I'm like, yo, I went from we just doing these videos, it's just myself and this other person to being on a set and we talking a whole crew of damn near 100 people. You know what I'm saying?
Lights,
Like
cameras. Yeah.
everybody's watching you and most people I don't think most people know this. Chris Brown directs all his music videos. So
I didn't know that.
he's like telling me what to do. Like, yo, I want you to go over here and talk to her, blah blah blah, be smooth. I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm taking direction from him.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah.
just
That's
and
kind
he
of
just
cool though. That's Robert Frank was like the guy I was telling you that's really buff. He's got millions of followers, and I had seen him back. I was working at Amazon in a warehouse back in
mhm.
2016 when he went viral on a Pokemon Go video or something. He was ranting about Pokemon Go, and that was his like claim to fame. I feel like, and so I had known him from before any of my notoriety. So meeting him in person at first was kind of like whoa. But being in a working relationship, like how he was directing the video, so you guys were interacting on what the project was, I feel like that
Yeah.
really kind of takes everything down. Like, okay, we got a task here to do. Like, even though that's Chris Brown, you're like, no, we're trying to get a task accomplished. You have an objective and
Yeah.
you're working cohesively. So it kind of makes everything a lot better. So me and him have done some videos together for the Steel Supplement Company. So um, it's nice when you meeting them in passing, you can be starstruck and nervous, but like once you start working with that person, they feel like an equal at that point. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just in that
Yes.
moment, you felt like you were working together on something. So I'm sure
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. I'm jealous.
And I mean, and to be honest, like at this point, I've had so many random situations like that. And they're just off I mean, obviously that was I got booked for that, but a lot of situations have been off the cuff. Like I remember being, maybe this was 2018, 2019. I was in Atlanta. I was with one of the homies, and we were at this hookah bar.
Mm.
And then Benzino walks in. I'm like, oh, okay, this is Benzino. And he walked
Mm.
in with my boy's boy, who his profession was dealing with publishing. So I think Benzino was trying to get his publishing back from back in the day. And
Right.
we just sat there, smoked hookah, and this man told us the whole story about the Source magazine, the Source Awards, his beef with Eminem, just
Yeah,
how
that's
they
what
got
I was about to say.
indicted.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I know him from is that beef with Eminem was a big deal. Because like what was the other big magazine of the day? Double XL, was it that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I know him from. Damn. Oh, sorry, I interrupted your whole story. Yeah,
Oh,
so
oh no, no, no,
he
you're
told you
good,
the
you're good. Yeah, we just we
he told
just literally just shooting the shit, and he's telling us the whole story. And in my head, I'm like, I remember being a kid, listening to him and M go back and forth, and 50 and G
mm-hmm.
Unit jump in the mix, and just had his
Mm-hmm.
whole ordeal, and to be sitting right here and we just casually talking about it. I was like, oh, he's talking
Yeah.
about he's talking about Death Row and Bad Boy at the Source Awards. And I'm like, he has his story is so amazing, but I do have to say this. I think in order for him to do the story and do the story the right way, you have to kill his ego. He has a big ego, and it's a catch-22 because like I understand, but at the same time, you got gold, bro. This story needs to be told. Like if you want to make
That's
yourself to be perceived a certain type of way, we can't brush anything under the rug. Like it all has to be thrown
mm-hmm.
at the wall, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the best. So like are you saying like in the form of like a documentary or something like that? Is that something that was being talked
Look,
about?
it's to the point where that story is so good between the Source Awards, the Source magazine, the beef with Eminem, and like where he is now. Even with his daughter Coyle Ray blowing up, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot there.
That's his daughter? I didn't
Yes,
even know that was his daughter.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's his daughter. So you have all these different monumental points in his career and just his life as a whole. It could be a limited doc. It could
Mm-hmm.
be it could be a 3-part doc. It could be a docu-series turned into a scripted show. It could be a movie. It's however you want to cut it. I just think they would have to do it the right way. That's
Yeah,
all
the
I'm
best
saying.
documentaries have the highs and the lows. And like seeing the star of it at a low point, dude, if you just if it's all highs, this ego, that ego, then it's not even interesting to watch. So
Yeah.
admitting that I'm sure Eminem coming after him definitely did some damage to his entire business and career, as it
Yes.
seems to with most people. So,
Yeah.
MGK went to rock right after the whole thing with Eminem. So
That
he
was
hasn't really
smart.
done
That
rap
was a
since.
smart move.
Dude, and let me
And
tell you, he's 10
look,
times bigger now.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
10 times bigger.
That
Yeah.
was the best thing he ever could have done. Honestly, like
Oh, yeah,
he can
100%.
all and he's so versatile. He can always go back to that. I see him, do the ciphers, and he might hop on the
Yeah,
track
I've
or
seen
something,
it.
which is
Hmm.
he can do both. That's dope.
Yeah, that was definitely a good move for him. But yeah, when you're sitting there talking to this guy, and you said like 2018, 2019. So pretty much you had just done by that time just a couple small things in Hollywood and just your viral video at that point.
I had okay at this point. I had quite a few viral videos come out because we kept running them back. So at this point, it's seven or
What
eight.
was it always seductively eating things or what is it? Because the one
Yeah.
thing I read about you, because I just read just real quick and I only read like two sentences, it says something about
Okay.
seductively eating ice cream. So did you just change the scenario in the
Yeah.
so you
Yeah.
were
We,
you were
we
basically
rinse.
TikToking it before TikTok because it seems
Yes.
like and now if you go to somebody's TikTok page, they're just like mine. My content is
Hmm.
always damn near exactly the same, different car,
Hmm.
different jokes. So like yours, set and settings different, but the objective's the same. I'm gonna seductively
Yeah.
eat this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did
Ice
he
cream, chocolate cake, salad,
dude,
and
I have never seen these videos. I don't think at least that I have seen these videos. I'm gonna search them. So I knew who you were aside from that. especially back when you put out the video that was like things that you might have seen me in. It was like the boot up video and yada yada yada
Mhm.
yada yada. I'm like, oh damn, I have seen that guy. And I get the same people like, you look familiar. And I'm like, are you on social media at all? And they're like, that's where, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I never got to, I don't know. I probably have seen them. I need to look those things up. I'm interested now. Are you embarrassed by the old videos at all? Or like
Nah,
you proud
like
of them?
I used look in the early stages, I was embarrassed because okay, that's how the Donny Savage alter ego, that's how it came about. Like that was like
Okay.
my safe space to go into when I needed to be that person. And then it just carried over into, today, like what I do today. And so like I'll do the video. I couldn't even watch the videos to be honest. They were so cringe to me. I'm like, I can't believe I just did
Yeah.
it. Cuz
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like that's Donny Savage right there. I'm Donnell Blaylock Jr. Like yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
one in the same, but like I don't know who the it is right there.
I went through
But
this. I went through the same thing, honestly. Like seeing my videos, I'm
yeah,
like, ugh, man, I got like that country accent. I'm acting stupid. Like if I watch my videos, I'm like, that guy is a douche and he sounds dumb. Like, but like it works and people love it. And then when people comment and they say all these crazy things, that are like really reassuring and that they really love your
yeah.
videos, it's like, well, I got to keep doing it for those people. But
Yep.
I feel like I interrupted you again, bro. I'm
No, no,
terrible.
no, you're good. No, you're good.
Yeah.
I totally don't mind. Because initially we're saying the same. We're
Yeah,
literally saying
yeah.
the same shit.
It is kind of a little bit weird. Like I didn't even know this, bro, because we talked for like months now, like
Yeah.
at least 5, 6 months that we've interacted at least through the DM in some sort of way or another, or liking each other's whatever. So, but I had no idea until like literally today that we really have like kind of parallel lives in a
Mhm.
sense because we both had regular like sales jobs, commission jobs, went viral online and then like kept it going. And
Yeah.
I had no idea. I figured you were just always an LA guy, and I figured that you had always been an actor
Nope.
slash model, and then that you kind of took that and went the social media route. I thought you did it backwards, the other way around. But yeah, here you are, same damn thing,
Like
which is more admirable, really.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why I
absolutely, man.
really, really got it out the mud.
Yeah.
And I can say I've never paid for reach. I've never paid for followers and I've never
Mhm.
I've never jumped in that lane. I always was like, if people if they take to it, they take to it. If they don't, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I never wanted to play that payola game. I wanted to always be authentically myself. And through doing that, all these amazing opportunities have come around. Had a chance to meet a lot of dope people like yourself. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
don't.
thank you, bro.
It's the thing. Like I've been in this for almost 10 years, but I never put myself on a pedestal or anything, or like I feel like I'm better than people that are coming up and like it's levels to this, and it's all about
Hmm.
longevity. Because I know people that I came up with, they fell off. You know, their
Yeah.
life happens or whatever the case may be. So you never know how to go. So I don't ever be like, oh man, you just came up off TikTok in 2020. You ain't like nah. You
Mm.
embrace that. This is your story. This
Yeah.
is your lane. And to be
Hmm.
fair, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of yours because I
Thank
thought
you.
it was so yeah for sure. I thought it was so dope that like you said, the sales commission job. That's a hustle in itself. I
Hmm.
thought it was so dope that you took the time to think outside of the box. Like, yo, I'm gonna do the social media. Wherever I land. But it's the fact that you have infinite reach in this game because you
Yeah.
don't know who's watching. You don't know on what side of the world people are tuning into, and that's overall brand awareness. And that's the biggest thing that's important right now because the content creation game has changed. It used to
Yeah.
be primarily focused on influencers, but like that's not the case anymore. It's the content creators that know their through and through, where they can give educational advice for you. That's comedy, but that's sales at the same time. But
Yeah, sales is a
You
big
you
part.
make it you make it look effortless because it's not like it's sales, but it's not too salesy. It's not coming off as sleazy. It's just organic approach. I got the phone out here. We shooting music videos on the lot. It's strategic in itself. It's fucking
Mm-hmm.
brilliant.
Entertainment
And
as it is.
yes, yes. And I think people should take more heed to that and get more creative with whatever industry they're in because Sean, this is my homie. I gotta talk to you. I've been sending you Brody's profile for I don't know how long. Cause I literally said this is the blueprint. Like I know, like I've been around the block long enough to know when somebody has it, you know,
Mm.
and you definitely got it. I'm like, if I see something, I'm gonna give a person credit. I give credit when credit's due. If the person has a blueprint, I'm gonna shoot it off to my, to the people that are closest to me. Like, hey, this is the fucking blueprint. If you ever needed a blueprint in this is it. You don't have to do what he
Mm.
does exactly, but take bits and pieces and just show up as yourself. That is all it is at the end of the day. It's not trying to be Mopar Brody. It's being whoever you are and showing up
Mm-hmm.
with your personality and like your own quirkiness or what makes you funny, whatever the case may be. And just doing your thing and just being consistent with it. That is all it is at the end of the day.
So you say he's in car sales.
He's in car sales, yes.
Okay,
But
so I will say from experience, just to kind of help you out from like the point you're trying to get across, customers resonate with a real person because they automatically are going into the dealership hating salespeople. Like salespeople are not like on the top of the list of best people in the world in the public's eyes. People think used
right,
car salesman, sleazy car salesman, this, that, and the other. So if you got a chance to shine that light on who you are as a person, that you are a genuine person, you're a family man or you're a funny guy, whatever it is, if you got a chance to broadcast yourself out to the public, you will definitely have a better chance of selling more cars because of that. Because people want to buy from genuine people. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
even if he just posts a picture every time he does make a sale with his customers, which is something else that I do, I get tagged online all the time. Oh, I'm looking to buy a car. Who knows a salesman? 9 people are tagging my name in there just because,
yeah,
not from the videos, just because I post my own sales so much. They're like, dude, Brody is always killing it. And my customers come in, they have a good time. And he can either market himself one of two ways. He can do it like, being the funny guy and trying to get views and this, that, or the other, or he can do it as a genuine person. But either way, putting yourself
right.
out there, no bad comes out of that. It can only be good things. So I definitely recommend getting some content out there. And no matter what form that you do it in, just make sure people know what you do for a living because you're going to get a lot more sales that way.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean, when you watch this episode, man, it was out of love. I had to call you out, but it was all out of love. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you win, dog. So if I see some and it's helpful, I'm gonna send it to you. That's just how it goes. We boys. That's how we supposed to rock. And no, you really just hit it on the head, bro. That was perfect. And it's like at this point, you don't even have to be the most skilled person in your profession. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there. The person that's willing to put themselves out there, they are going to win no matter what. And you can be doing this 20 years. This person that's
That's the
willing to get
one
on
thing I have
camera.
learned. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the energy you put out, man. Like literally what you put out into the universe is what you're gonna get back. And I know I've gone into the sales route a little bit, but like the more you answer that phone, the more people are gonna say, "Hey, I want to come in and look at that car." The more you walk out on the lot and catch somebody out there, the more they're gonna be like, "Hey, let me drive this one and buy it." You know what I'm saying? So him not being on the internet is the same as him never answering the phone at that dealership and never going to talk to a customer. He's missing out on so many opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So what you put out into
Yeah.
the universe, you're going to get back directly in all aspects of life. What you do, if you never freaking audition, you're never going to get a role. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like rarely is somebody going to reach out to you like, I handpicked you for just this. Like even A A-list actors have to like audition for big roles. So
Yeah.
maybe not all the time, but like, you know what I'm saying? So just whatever you put out there, you're going to get it back. I definitely learned that. And someone like you has made it this long, transitioning from Michigan to LA and doing all this and all that. Like if you just sat there and didn't put anything out, you would tank. You got to keep
Yeah,
hustling, keep driving, keep going, and that's all you're trying to instill in your friend, who must be pretty
yeah,
close to you because he got his own shout out. So
yeah, yeah. No,
take
this
take
is my
notes.
dog. Yeah, this is my
Yeah.
dog, and so that's why he got called out because
Ugh.
I I was just trying to make it make sense, and I understand the fact that everybody is not like just instantly good
Mm-hmm.
on camera. Nobody is. I wasn't.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure you
Mm-mm.
weren't. It's
Mm-mm.
it's it's propping up the tripod in your room. Nobody's there. It's just you, and that you just talking to the camera. You don't ever have to post a video. You never have to show it. But it's like it's the necessary steps to getting comfortable. Because I'll tell you what, and I know you can attest to this. Everything is good until that camera turns on. When you see that red dot, people look
Mm-hmm.
like a fucking deer in headlights, you know? And I get it. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, so I think that the thing that I've always thought since I was making those raps in my bedroom as a like 15-year-old kid was I never thought of the camera as a camera. I always
Okay.
thought of the camera as an audience. Now, let me tell you, you put me in front of an audience, I'll get nervous. But
Okay.
I always thought of the camera as me talking to the people directly, but in my safe zone. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not actually there. You could delete it if you had to. You know what I'm saying? But like it's a safe way to talk to a lot of people. So really, I don't think of the camera as like my enemy. I think of it as like the safe space in order to get your stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Because if a
Yeah.
hundred people were gathered around, they're like, Brody, do what you do. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've had that happen before. I was at a car meet with 4,000 people and like over 100 people were gathered around in a big ring and they made me do
Yeah.
one live. And I remember right after I got famous, they flew me out to New York and I did it in front of a showroom of 40 salespeople in it on the fly. And I had a feeling they were going to do that. And they're like, give us a walk around on this car. And I'm like, shit. Like, and I did it on the fly, but that is nerves, man. Turn on the camera. I'll talk to it
Yeah.
all day long. But dude, it's when you get
Yeah.
me 50, 100 people in front of me. So yeah, I think it helps to think of the camera as a safe space. You know what I'm saying? Because it isn't a person. You're just talking to some technology. So I
Yeah.
guess it's the
And that's
mindset you're in.
no, it has to be. It has to be because like you can literally be in like this mental having a mental mind in this mental prison where your expectations are through the roof, but like you have to dumb
Mm-hmm.
down the situation. Like the camera's not gonna talk back. You may not even like the video enough to post it anyway, so you could scrap it, worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So that really should dumb it down and allow you to just be free and not give a fuck. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like when I live stream now, I started live streaming a lot more just to get comfortable with just, like the fluidity of talking and just having ongoing conversations like with the chat and whatever I'm talking about. Like it's practice for me and it's liberating because I'm not so caught up and worried about like what the edit's gonna be like. Like, oh, I need to cut this out, I need to cut this out. At this point, I'm just being myself entirely. What you see is what you
Mm-hmm.
get. And it's been one of the best exercises for me that really helps and allows me to do this even more because I'm trying to get better with every episode that I do, and I'm
Yeah.
seeing
You
this growth.
That is crazy because believe it or not, in all my years of social media, and they came out with live. When did they come out with live? 2017, 2018. I don't remember when they came out with it. I have never done a live on any platform ever.
Really?
I just talked all this about the camera being the audience, but at the same time, you know what? I think it's because it's never live. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh,
that's why I am comfortable, but when it's live, I've never done a live before. So that's honestly, I feel like in itself, that's kind of like a stepping stone.
it
Like putting
is.
yourself out there in front of everybody right on the spot, no edits. If you mess anything up or look stupid, it's done. So yeah, I've
Yeah.
never done it.
Look, how long do we have before 2024? We got a couple months until 2024, man. Are you gonna do it before, or will this be will this be a new goal for 2024?
I could
I,
do
wa-
it
I
before
do.
2024.
I want
I
to
could
challenge
do
you to
it.
do it.
Yeah. I'll never back down from a challenge, man. I've never done it, man. I hear that's a good way to like interact with fans, like especially on like TikTok and stuff like that. Where
Yeah.
do you live stream at?
Okay, so the platform that I'm using right now, StreamYard,
Hmm.
I've connected my YouTube, my Facebook profile, my Facebook page, and like it has direct integration with those platforms. So if you wanted Instagram or TikTok, they have external links that you can add into it. You just won't see your comments pop up on this platform. You would have to go to
Mm,
Instagram or maybe have like a separate monitor to see the comments coming in from Instagram or TikTok. But I
hmm.
typically when I go live, it's typically on three platforms at a time, and then I'll separate TikTok and Instagram. I'll do all of
Okay.
them.
So how do you interact with the comments? So if you're on that platform.
So if I'm on StreamYard, they literally pop up in my comments tab. So it'll let me know which platform the comment is coming in, if it's from my YouTube or if it's from my
Okay.
Facebook. Yeah, so you kind of get it all at once. I love
Okay,
this
that's cool.
platform.
Yeah, that's a good platform.
This is I wish I would have known about this years ago, to be fair. It
Has it been
helps.
out that long?
Uh Okay, like now I'm getting all these StreamYard ads because I use StreamYard and I talk about StreamYard. So like I'll have random StreamYard tutorial videos popping up and I'm seeing them date back from at least 5 years.
Oh wow. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could have been using this.
Yeah. But to be fair, I wasn't comfortable. I was not comfortable or as comfortable as I am now.
When did you get comfortable? When did you find that in yourself?
Uh I mean to be candid, and if you've been watching the show, I mean if you're watching Cam Savage show from the jump, you guys know this. I got more comfortable after my father passed.
Ah,
That was, I don't know, it was just something
what
awakened
about it?
in
Yeah.
me. This is the end all be all. There's nothing that surpasses death because
Mm,
it's done. Everything is void after that. Like nothing
yeah.
even matters after that. The
Hmm.
arguments you've had, the bad times. I mean, the good times matter obviously because that's what you hold on to. But all the little nitpicking bullshit you used to argue about, none of that matters anymore.
And it never
And
really did.
yeah, and nothing anybody could say about me or say to me or try to insult, it's not gonna matter in 100 years. So I was like, if none of this matters, that means I can be exactly who I need to be right now. Like I don't have to try to project this. Like I need to be this person at 40 or like nah. I mean I don't have all the time in the world, and to be quite frank, I've been in this game 10 years. I have a lot to say. I've met a lot of dope people. There's stories I want to talk about. There's information that I want to give away, and I just want to show up and do that. Is it
Yeah.
is it going to be perfect? No. But am I showing up as myself? Yes, and that's what you get every single time. So I said, I'm doing it.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking on that perfect comment that you just made, like it seems like nowadays you don't have to be perfect. Less than ever do you have to be perfect on social media because
Yeah,
cameras are always on more than they've ever been in the history of anything. So like perfect is not something that everyone expects, even though body image and stuff like that, perfection
yeah,
is being chased. But like when it comes to videos, man, people mess up all the time. So I think people overlook it.
yeah,
Like it's TV, you mess up on TV, that was a big deal. Like back before the internet, you know what I'm saying? But like now, it's nothing. So that's good that you're getting on here and getting to mix with people and tell your story. Because I mean, I didn't watch any of your other episodes on purpose. I didn't want them to drive this conversation in any direction.
yeah,
So I don't know if you've talked much about like your origin or anything in the past, but it was just good for me to get to know it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people out there that went through similar stuff as me, and it's good to connect with somebody like that.
yeah. No, and I appreciate that. And even with that being said, like I always have an outline for my episodes, like some notes. Will I hit every single last bullet point? Probably not, because I like to take the organic approach to it, and whatever it turns into, it just turns into. Hence, that's
Hmm.
why I like the format of just having a conversation versus some sit down talk on CNN or something where it's like like it's OD, like
Hmm.
asking you about your past or some like some these PR attention, like some riff you had,
Yeah.
like why'd you get arrested 2 weeks ago? Like I'm not about to ask you that, bro. Like that's if that was the case, like that's off the cards for me.
Yeah. I totally get that. But I also do appreciate like a free flowing conversation. Those are the best ones to have, man, because that's when people's ideas and stuff like that get to be put out. If it's all just scripted and stuff like that, then you're just on this target point, that target point. But a free flowing conversation, then it could go anywhere. I mean, we went from acting classes to celebrity interactions to sales in general. Like, who knows where that conversation would have been if it was 100% scripted. But speaking of that,
Mhm.
you got something else on that list, that
Uh,
outline? Yeah, I'm interested to see what all you
yeah.
got on that outline.
Let me see.
Let's see what the master has on his outline. We're going to dive deep into Donny Savage's behind the scenes. What makes the podcast work? What do you got on? I'm interested. What do you got on the list? Well, it was only two things. Shout out for your friend and like
No,
how I started.
no. I was really interested to know, like, since you started the content creation journey, has there been a significant spike like in your customer base and sales?
Knew
Because
you were gonna say that. I knew you were
yeah,
gonna ask that.
I,
When you
I,
say
I
you want
w-
to do a podcast, I'm like, he's gonna ask a question everybody asks. And
yeah,
let me tell you, not at all. I have
not at
had
all.
one person buy a car from me specifically because he was a fan and he lived in New York and
Okay,
he ordered a Scat Pack. It got here and I shipped it to him. And that was the only time I've ever had someone directly from the internet reach out to me, say he was a fan and buy a car from me. Now, hundreds of times I've had people show up on the lot and be like, "Oh, you're Mopar Brody," and then they end up buying a car or not. But most of the time,
hmm
I'll be in the dealership and they'll be working with somebody else and they'll be like, "Oh, you're Mopar Brody." I'm like, "Damn, why didn't you ask for me?" You know what I'm saying? So they'll be
right.
buying off somebody else in my dealership. But even more so, speaking to the fan base, because it is like a wide range of people from across the globe,
hmm
um, it'll be a bunch of 16-year-olds like, and I swear I've had this exact message. "Yo, I'm 15. I work at Wendy's. I'm buying a Hellcat next year." And I'm like, no, like, well, no, first off, I can't even sell you
They're
one
not.
until you're 18. And I don't think the Wendy's thing's going to cover it, bro. And, which is
No.
noble and all, but like most of the stuff you get on social media, man, 99% of it's just going to be some BS, bro. It doesn't even matter. Just like your ice cream eating videos and my car videos, they're all bullshit. Like, it's not really, it's just for entertainment purposes.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And when you do something like that, you can't expect to have a return that's going to be serious. You're going to
Right.
get a lot of jokesters or people that might, not have the best intentions or this, that, and the other. But maybe if I was a lawyer and I put out like law content, I would get like some business reaching out like, "Hey, we want to hire you." But like, unfortunately, I put out jokes about cars with sexual innuendos. So I'm not going to get like too many serious people wanting to spend their cash with me.
Okay.
But everybody does think that though. Like, and I wish it did, man. The problem is, like you said, it's not too salesy what I do.
Right.
So with that said, I'm not telling people where I work. So no one knows how to find me most of the time unless they really dig in. So if you just watch my videos, man, you'd have no idea where I work or how to get a hold of me or nothing. So there's that. And then on top of that, like it's not me asking for you to buy anything. I'm pretty much just telling jokes about the car. I'm not asking you to buy it. So I'm really not even having a call to action there
Okay.
for someone to reach out.
Okay.
Um, so it is kind of just
That's what I was gonna
entertainment.
ask. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna ask because I understand exactly what you're saying. I just know that it's like if you do implement the acts and the call to action, like
I would probably get more customers.
maybe every 3 videos you
Yeah.
have, you know what I'm saying? And hypothetically, you would have a video that's more it's like strategic. Boom, introducing yourself, or you're talking about a
Hmm.
certain car, or you're giving like something that's like informative and educational, like the like tips or something particularly. I don't
Hmm.
know. And Mopar Brody, or if you want to use that name or your real name, and then
Hmm.
you drop the location and and give them the call to action. I feel like they would opt in whether it's through text message or I feel like you
Yeah.
got it. Well, they were out
I
there.
think that would happen too. And my boss, bro, you sound like my boss, man. Nobody wants me to be salesy on the internet more than my boss. He's like, dude, you should be turning all these people into customers. And I'm like, bud, I don't think you understand. Most of my demographic is 15 years old, but
Uh,
I got a lot of, actually, to be honest with you, my biggest demographic is 25 to 35 years old, if
okay.
social media says so. But at the same time, yes, I have thought about that before. But the past 3 years for car sales, dude, I always sell over 20 plus cars. That's more cars than I am there per day, like
That's
per
damn
month.
good. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and the money I make, I mean, like I would say it, but like, let me just tell you, it is more money than you could imagine that a salesman would actually make. Like
Hmm.
it's great. Like I'm not hurting for money now. Now the business has been good because of COVID and the inventory shortages and things like that. So like the money has been through the roof. But now you're seeing interest rates rise across America and less people buying. So if I get a little more desperate, you might see some sales videos come out, but it just I haven't needed it yet, and I'm scared that once I become the sales guy, I'm a sellout, and I'm scared that my um, video content will suffer because of it. In terms of like, yo, this guy usually yells cool jokes at us, and now he's like asking us to buy. What the hell? Like, and I don't. I'm scared to take that leap to see what that would look like, and I haven't needed to yet.
I got you. I think, and this is my personal opinion.
Mm.
I think you would be good with a strategy that's like every couple of videos you get to give them a call to action to drop in.
So like maybe just start off with like a tip, like, hey, yo, like if you have this credit score, like blah blah blah, do this or that or blah blah blah, and then be like, yo, if you need anything, like reach out to me,
Yeah, come
type of
down, see
deal.
me, boom,
Like,
and text overlay.
yeah.
If there's a number you want to use, if it's
I will tell you though, that number thing, bro, even though I wasn't posting where I was working, like at the height of that barstool stuff, we were
yeah,
getting calls nonstop and people would yell Mopar baby and then hang up. Like like just all the time. So um
okay,
I'm probably at the point where I could probably put a number out there or something like that. I think if it's just so many people will buy a car and they'll comment on me like, "Hey, I just got a car from so and so." I was like, "Why didn't you go to me?" And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that I could," or "I live in Alaska
yeah.
or LA or whatever." But we ship cars, so I could
I
definitely
think
get
it's
one to anybody.
I think it all boils down to like people want to be told what to do. Like
Yeah.
that is what it is. This is no different than me posting a video, like a clip from this podcast episode, and then telling them link is in the bio. Go hit the link in the bio. It's gonna take you to the YouTube video to watch the full video. And like unless a person knows to do that, they're not gonna
They're
fucking
not
do it.
gonna.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I understand what you mean about not being too salesy, and that's why I feel like you can integrate it every couple of videos. Like it could be comedy, it could be informative, it can be this is my funnel right here. This is the series for
Hmm.
the funnel. This is the entertainment. This is like informative information just in case you didn't know what type of score you needed. You didn't know what your price range would be. I think it would all mesh together perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely got to do something to switch it up. That's for sure. I mean, the videos are still working for me. They still get, millions of views. Typically, if I do like a traditional walk around one.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, like I said, I mean, it is getting, even though I'm selling the same amount of cars, the money's not the same as it was just because interest rates are getting higher. So prices are getting lower. So maybe it's time to try your way and introduce a new. I've been looking into doing a new segment anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the customers say, like that'll be the segment. Customers say, and it'll be like an
Ooh.
$80,000 truck, and they think you're gonna pay $200 a month. Or I've had two repos, like, and I don't got any money down. We're good, right? Like, or
Yeah.
whatever, something like that, and give an interesting comedic twist on something like that.
That
So
that information, literally, like what you just said, that video series with a call to action at the end. It's just a reminder, like, okay, I just gave you this value. Come holler at your boy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And, and
hundred
it's and
percent.
it's it's subtle. It's not like it's not starting the video being salesy. Like it's entertainment, and then boom, this just a matter of fact. Come holler at your boy. I'm here. This is a number. Come buy a whip from me.
Yeah, my boss would definitely like that. He's
Yeah.
always like, "Why don't you tell them where you work?" I'm like, "They found our phone number and wouldn't leave us alone for 3 months. Like, I don't know if I want to tell them where I work. I'm doing just fine." But yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I could probably turn it way up. Like, I always pride myself on being like a hustler because, I was traveling the United States for all these different companies and filming these
Mhm.
videos and then doing my own content and still sales full time. Not only
Hell
sales
yeah.
full time, but still being number one. Like without the help from the
That's
fan
a
base,
that's a
like I
big
said,
deal,
yeah,
bro. That's
right.
a big
So
fucking deal.
I always pride myself on that. But then I look and I'm like, dude, there's always so many more notches, and it makes me feel like a failure. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting there like, you know what? I could really promote myself and sell more cars and make more money, and I just won't, and I don't. And I look at that and I'm like, damn, what am I doing? Like I hate when I,
Yeah.
I look at myself like that, like I'm not doing enough. And sometimes, but maybe only truly successful people always think that they're not doing enough. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like lazy people think they work hard, and then hardworking people think they're being lazy.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that there's a level of truth to that for sure. So when's this brand dropping? The clothing
Look,
line.
and I don't think I got a chance to no, I haven't had a chance to say this just yet. So I'm bringing on some partners. I was literally waiting for the perfect, I'm not, well, not the perfect, but a good sustainable partnership, like a healthy partnership. I
Mm,
have a company coming on. Um, I like their approach towards the fees would have to split. It's more so revenue share with me keeping a vast majority of it because my brand is already established.
right.
So, but they have the manufacturing resources. They have the designers. They're gonna put together a website for my podcast and make this absolutely official. This will be a hub where this is everything Donny Savage. You come to the website, it'll have the Spotify, Apple, links to the YouTube. Um, probably some type of form where you can opt in for brand partnerships and just the whole nine. Everything that I needed to be top notch.
Do you have
Now,
a Patreon?
no, not yet.
So a
Not
lot of the
yet.
big people I know in this space that I've met, they have a Patreon, man. I think you need to add a link for that too. And
Okay.
what you can do is put either behind the scenes footage from things that you do professionally or on the podcast or special clips that you don't let everybody else see. People will subscribe to you on that and pay you a monthly fee. You can tier it, from $2 a month up to like 30, 50, 100, and people sign up for different tiers and they get different levels of basically a window into your life or
Okay.
special content. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people that are making like 9, 10,000 a month off the Patreon alone.
That's
And
damn
actually,
good.
I think you'd be surprised. Ross Creations from YouTube, I think he makes like 90% of his money from his Patreon, and he makes like got to be 7 figures now at this point in time.
Oof.
So yeah,
Love that.
which he's way bigger than both of us. He's got millions and
Right.
millions and millions of followers now, and he's been
Right.
doing it for like 15 years. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's
starting
not
a Patreon. If you got a podcast, bro, I think you should look into that too.
okay. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely throw that on the list. I'm always open and just like where I am now, I only look at things from the overall perspective of the brand and what falls under the brand. So
Mhm.
whether that's the podcast, that's one pillar. We got merch, still do acting, still do modeling, um,
Mhm.
still doing social media campaigns. I've been trying to figure out
Multifaceted.
I've been trying to figure out the best way to put all these things together and it's finally starting to blossom. And
Yeah.
but to go back to the point with the merch, I got designs archived. I've been archiving them for the last 3-4 months.
Mhm.
I didn't know this partnership was going to present itself, but I wanted to make sure I was ready for whatever. I know
Right.
exactly how I want to do the collections. I reached
Do you
out
got a
to my
name
dog.
yet? Are you allowed to say it?
Uh I
Don't.
won't I
Hey, I'm
won't
not. No. Okay. Good. No pressure here. I'm
no
just
no no I
asking.
won't
I
I won't say it just yet because I'm going back and forth between two and I just want to make sure like when I
mm,
pick that one, like I'm sticking with it. I'm definitely sticking with it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go live, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm gonna let my audience chime in, and when we narrow it down to a couple designs, I'm gonna let them pick.
That's a good
What
idea.
they, yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah. So we'll run it that way, and then
Do like a
yeah,
limited run at first, perhaps, like something, like not getting crazy with the options on the site at first. I think a limited run
nah,
of like just a few different types of styles. Is that what you're working with, or one shirt,
yeah.
or
No.
okay?
We're gonna have a few different options, but I'm only doing limited collections. Like my boy from
And you're gonna keep
Godspeed.
switching it up.
Yes, like when it's
Okay.
done, it's done.
Oh, that's smart though. I hear that's a very smart way to market because everything's exclusive, so
Exactly.
people will want to buy. Yeah,
Yep.
you're almost
And
guaranteed to sell out at that point.
yeah. And my boy from Godspeed, he put me on, and I appreciate him a lot. He will be on one of the future podcast shows. I mean, he'll be on one of the future episodes. He really gave me a lot of game, and I think his brand started in 2013, but I've seen it grow into this behemoth in the NBA space. The NFL players rocking it. Lil Durk's
Really,
rocking it. Yeah.
that's
So
pretty big.
I've seen it grow, and I always give him his props because I remember where he started. And I met him in 2016 when and he ended up booking me to come do a campaign for him in Malibu. So we shot the brand out there, but we've been locked in ever since. And I love what he's doing with his new designs and his collections. This collection is the rarity collection, and there was 200. I love the fact that he pays attention to detail. It is all in the details. There's a little tag at the bottom of the shirt, and
Mhm.
it's numbered. So like, you have a specific number out of the 200. I think this is like 127, and I think you get some
Damn, he
type of
don't care
special
about you at all.
perks.
He could have gave you number one. No, I'm joking.
Facts.
Yeah, yo, hey, I'm just saying. That
But I
is
like
cool
that.
though. Like that
Yeah.
exclusivity, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like that's always gonna work. I feel like, just a limited run. Do you tell them though? Do you tell them how many? That's the thing. Like when you market it, do you tell them how limited, or do you just say limited?
I'm
That's
gonna
something you need to think about, huh?
I'm gonna well I'm gonna double back. I'm gonna ask him. I'm just gonna ask him straight up before I
Like
go
what does he
guessing.
do?
Yeah. Because it was to the point she was like, my manufacturers, I'll give you my manufacturers too, if needed. It's like he was really
Dang, you
giving me
got the setup.
the keys. I mean that's my dog
Yeah.
though. Like I appreciate him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
rather
what's
than
up.
guess, I'm just gonna go back and ask and add it to
Yeah,
the
like do you
notes.
tell them? Right, 100%. I think once you come out with the merch though, you're gonna level up. I think you're definitely gonna level up. I mean, because I don't even consider myself like the most notable person on earth. You know what I'm saying? I might get noticed like once a day, but
Mhm.
like the type of money that comes in from that type of stuff is really good. And not only that, but I feel like in totality, it kind of thrives you as a person because you realize those people are buying it because they support you. So it just makes you want to
Yeah,
go harder. You know
that's
what I'm
real.
saying? Makes you want to go harder until the brand becomes a thing that they buy and don't even know who the hell you are. And then you really made it because they're just
Yeah.
buying it because it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we get there someday.
That's the point. Like honestly, I want to go all in with it. Like I've been a part of this fashion space for a long time, and I've seen a lot of trends. I've seen, you know, brands thrive. I've seen them fucking fall to the wayside. We don't talk about them anymore.
Hmm.
But it's like if you have like a face behind it, like it can always change. It can always thrive because as long as you have that personal brand backing it, you can
Hmm.
do it. You can do a lot of things with it. It's versatile at that point. So I always want to keep reinventing myself because it may be a collection I drop based on a certain point I'm at in my life or something that inspired this drop. And like this is what you get from everything that I've gone through, and then I will give you the whole layout and the inspo behind it. Like I want to get as hands on as possible.
Yeah. Just a chocolate bar on a shirt. No, I'm joking.
Uh, why not?
Oh, oh,
Why not?
I'm just saying, brings you back to the what started
Yeah,
it all. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like down the road, like do like an homage to the origin story.
yeah. That
That'd be
that
pretty
would
gangster.
then, and the marketing is already there. That would then prompt me to do a part two. That's all I would do is do a part two. Might be rocking.
Yeah.
It was like it's all right there. It's just
Oh
doing the
yeah.
work at the end of the day that I'm I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it's all about to come together for you. That's good to
Appreciate that.
hear, bro. I'm glad. It seems like you're right on the verge of some big stuff, bro. When did you start this podcast?
I'm about a month in.
Okay, cool, cool. How
Yeah.
many episodes you got?
Well, this is technically episode 10, but I had like
Oh, I'm 10th. I'm
I had
10th.
it.
You know what that means? You start off with the most famous person you know that'll do it, and then you just go.
Well,
Um,
I was I was I mean, I was my first guest for the first episode. I did a solo.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I did a
Yeah.
solo joint, and I will have solo episodes, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough episodes in the archive ready to go. I don't like to try to play catch up. I want to make sure, we got everything moving smoothly, and it gives me
So
time to put out like the short form clips and put the content out, introduce who you are leading up to dropping the episode. And have a formula for it now.
right. So what's this archive for? What do you need the archive? You said you want to have a built up archive. What are you doing with it?
Well, I mean, just to have enough content that can last me 2 to 3 months at a time. Like I'm at this point now where I want to work a lot smarter and not harder. So
Okay.
recording prior to this episode, I had I think 8 pre-recorded. So I
Okay.
just never wanted to run out of content. So now I have
That makes
content
sense.
that
So you are archiving them quite literally and not posting them yet, and then just this will get you. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I do that same stuff with my videos too. Just have
yeah.
some
So
stuff loaded up, and you can be
yep,
somewhere else and just post a video at the right time.
yep.
Oh, actually, that brings me to my next point. I know I'm overhauling this whole podcast, but do you have a time where you post things for like maximum outreach, um, like a time of day, per se, that you upload
Mhm.
something, or do you just don't care? Okay, it's 10 p.m. on Sunday night, I'm uploading, or if it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, I'm uploading. Because like a lot of social media people have like that time
Mhm.
that works best for them. Do you ever run into that, or do you just post whenever?
I used to do that, and I don't know, man. I just like to make it as frictionless as possible. Obviously, you can have posts scheduled, in advance.
Right.
You can have posts scheduled in advance, but sometimes if I'm in the mood to create right then and there, you might just get this content. If I do it
Right.
that day, you might get it that day. I don't like to hold on to it anymore. I just like to let this fly, and whatever it does, it does.
Yeah, so you don't care about time of day for maximum like outreach, because I know a lot of people get into the analytics of it and be like, okay, so 90% of my fans are on TikTok at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. I'm gonna upload 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. That's gonna be my time to get like the maximum. You don't look at it like that at all. You just post.
Nah, not anymore because it's like at this point, like I have so much content in the archive because like I chop up these videos into shorter form videos. So
Right.
okay, we're at like an hour 30 right now.
Mhm.
I can get 10 to 15 videos out of this,
At
just
least.
depending on
Yeah.
what we're talking about. So if I'm posting a couple videos a day, I'm more so focused on the consistency and getting the content out versus the time frames because you're gonna get at least 2 3 videos from me regardless.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna get it at different times. Like I don't even give a at this point. It just
Right.
makes it easier for me because I'm like I did it. It's scheduled. It's ready to go. I don't want to hold on to it anymore because I want to post at least 2 to 3 videos leading up until the episode drops. So that might
That
be
makes sense.
a couple different clips. That might be a post dedicated like towards you, talking about your background and a picture of you, or maybe it was one of your videos that went viral, so they can get familiar with who you are.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
more
Build me
important to
up,
me.
bro.
Yeah,
Build
I
me up,
got
bro.
you. I got you. That's more important to me though at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense 100%. At least I got one of those faces that like enough people have seen to where like at first they don't realize it, but they're like, he looks familiar. Then you show them the video and they're like, ah, that's what always happens to me. They're like, yo, I know who you
Dude,
are.
you and I'm sure like you're popping up within like your own hashtags with Mopar Brody. you got to be
Yeah, or
popping
Mopar
up.
Baby, because I got the Mopar Baby hashtag, and everybody's popping those off on their posts.
Well, that one too. Like, I'm sure you're popping up on so many different feeds that you don't even know about, like at this point. And I'm
Yeah.
and I'm and I'm saying that because the videos that I did in 2015, 16, 17, 18, they resurfaced and are now going viral in the Philippines, Bangladesh,
Hmm.
India, Pakistan, Turkey, all these random places. And it's like there were different hashtags attached to them. Like I I got tagged in a hashtag. It was Donny Savage memes. I never used Donny Savage memes before, but when I went to the hashtag, it had like 8 million views. And I was like, this is a whole demographic I didn't even know existed. But everybody's tagging me in this now. So now I'm going to have to pull up to the Philippines. I'm going to have to go touch down in Turkey to see what's what.
You
Because
might be a star, bro. You might be Dwayne the Rock Johnson of the Philippines, bro.
I'm
That'd be a
saying,
big deal.
and that's,
Eat that ice cream. You like that's all you do there the whole time.
yeah. But that's how
That's
some
what's up.
people miss out though. Like they don't take the initiative to just, I don't know, just go take a random trip. Like you don't have to do anything uh just insane. You could do like a meet and greet, you could do like a cocktail hour. You can see who the promoters are in that
Mhm.
country or whatever that city is to put something together. It just takes a little bit of effort to network and you put your fillers out there. Like
Yeah.
I would love to collaborate with one of the biggest influencers in Turkey or Philippines. You know what I mean? Like I would love to have that type of connection. That is a whole
Exposure.
demographic. Yeah, it's a new demographic for me. It's a new demographic for them, and it's
Yeah,
and it
100%.
and it just works together. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought about it like that, but I don't even have my what do they call that? My passport. So I'm
What?
not going. I never got my passport.
What?
Nope. I never
All right,
needed
bro.
it. I never needed it.
Bro, get your passport. Get your passport. 2024. Get your passport,
Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, huh? The
dude.
passport.
Look, the Mopar community in Brazil is supposedly insane. I didn't even know that. I just stumbled across some videos and saw everybody pulling up, scats, Hellcats, and I'm like,
Dang.
okay, like they're doing their thing. It's a guy that I follow, who I also want to bring on the pod at some point in time. He has a ZL1 in London.
Mm.
Obviously, that's a foreign car to them. That's a fucking
Yeah.
rocket. But
Mm-hmm.
his
I
car
used to
was
have
in.
one.
Oh, you had one? Oh man, I fucking love
Yeah.
those.
I've had a little bit of everything. It's a ZL11LE, so it's got the carbon
Oh
fiber
yeah,
rear
yeah,
spoiler and
yeah.
all the
Like
canards, and it was nasty. I actually sold it to my coworker and then
that's what's
bought
up.
a Hellcat. I've had a little bit of everything, but yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, when they have those American muscle cars in London, that's a big deal. Those people, they all want them, but they can't get them because they don't.
Yeah,
I guess emissions or whatever there or something like that. I don't know what it
yeah.
is, but yeah.
For whatever reason, like he has his, and like he does the whole car enthusiast thing, and it's like he's carved his own lane because he's one of the only guys out there, and he has the 1LE package. But the car was in Fast and Furious, like Fast and Furious 10. Like they
Was it
booked his
really?
car. Yeah, they booked him. I think
Oh, was
Brie.
that one that was on the bridge or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, it's his
The
shit.
black one.
Yeah,
That was his. My
yeah,
buddy came home after watching it. He was like, "Bro, my car was in the movie. The one that was my car." Like he had told me. That's funny. We're talking about the same. That's
yeah.
hilarious. Huh? I
So
didn't know that. Didn't they like
yeah,
destroy that? No, they just drove off in it, didn't they? In the movie.
yeah, yeah. I think Brie
Okay.
Larson maybe.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
just took off in it.
yeah. But
Man, that car was so bad.
that's his own lane. You know, he got a muscle car in the UK, which is who's your competition at that point?
Right. Yeah, 100%. There's nobody out there for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, like speaking of which, like I mean, I get this all the time. So like I had two salespeople in Australia post a video about me. I get it from the Netherlands. You name it, man. Like Germany. My orders for my merch were like places I didn't even know we could ship to. Like places I've never even heard of, like a ton of countries. So it was really interesting to see that because although you see demographics on, if you go to your Instagram insights and stuff like that, you're like,
yeah,
oh, I'm big in Texas. I'm big in New York. I'm big in LA. Um, then you'll like if you do like your orders on like I used Wix or something like that, I feel like, but you
Okay.
could tell where your orders were, and they were like tons in Canada, tons in Mexico, tons in Germany, like, and I'm like, damn, like I'm worldwide. Like I thought I was big in like the United States, but like I might actually be bigger in Australia than here. So it's interesting to look at it from that perspective.
And that's why I would definitely tell you to get, not just for that reason. I mean, get the passport just because it just changes the whole game, man. Just it's a cultural shock to go to different countries, see how they live, the food, everything about it. But
Yeah.
when you already have something established, like yourself, like your brand, you could go to Germany, go link up with a venue or something. You can go do a meet and greet, bro. You can do a meet and greet in the States, you know?
Yeah, I've never the closest thing I ever had, like I've never set any of that up is they had one called like Mopar Heaven now is what it's called. It was like the 4,000 car event that I told you I did one live.
Yeah.
But I set up a stand there and I sold out of all my merch that I brought and I took like 500 pictures that day. Um, and I kind of wish I would have like dabbled in doing that a little bit more. Because like, dude, you never feel like a celebrity. Getting noticed once or twice a day, that's cool. Until you take 500 pictures and you're freaking
Yeah.
exhausted by the end of the day, shaking so many hands, saying hi to everybody. Like the events targeted towards you, is like the coolest ones. I'll tell you what.
Oh,
But
facts. I,
I got a bunch of you look buffer on camera and stuff like that. So, dude, social media will try to tear you down. That's one of the things though is the negative comments. So, do you ever get those?
yeah, I mean, they're always in the comments, like they're always lurking. But I have such thick skin now.
Hmm.
That's it doesn't even bother me.
Same.
It doesn't matter. I could give us.
Yeah, at first I used to get mad and think about responding. Sometimes I would. And now I'm just like, you know what? Like if I ever click on these people's profile pictures, you could tell like they don't have as good of a caliber of life that I do, and that's probably why they're saying those things.
Yes.
The hate never comes from above. Never.
Right.
Jeff
Right.
Bezos will never be on my page talking about lame. He's never gonna until that day happens, then I'm not gonna be affected by it because typically the hate comes from below. So
Yeah.
yeah,
People that
I
are.
feel like a lot of people struggle with that though on social media. A lot of people struggle with those comments.
I mean, people take it too serious. I don't understand it because it's like there's always going to be this wall in between, and that the barrier is social media itself. Because unless you can physically be in front of this person and say those things, which to be fair, vast majority of people won't. They don't have the balls to do it.
Mm-mm,
Like it
no.
doesn't even matter. So like I can't even engage. But there are times when yeah, I'm petty. Like I'll see some bull in my comments.
It'll catch you at the wrong moment, and you'll be like,
Yo,
usually
look,
I
I'm
brush
like,
this stuff off, but not today. I got
look,
time today.
look, look. I might have a bowl in my hand or something. I'm sitting down
Yeah,
on the couch, and I'm like, you said what? I'm about to fire your ass up right now.
yeah.
You picked the wrong day.
I got a minute.
Yeah, and I won't
I'm
hesitate. Like
done.
I'll get somebody together real quick, and then I'll move on with my day. But you gonna
Yeah,
learn.
some dude one time he was like, "Oh, quit skipping in the gym altogether." Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll just be like some quick stuff because I just I try not to, man. I try to be what I've noticed over the years is that if you're nice to them, if you do acknowledge them and
Yeah,
and reply in a nice way, 90% of the time they say, "Nah, man, I was just joking." And like they'll apologize in some form or another. Like they'll hate just to like clown. And
yeah,
then if you
yeah,
just like be nice to them anyway, like, yeah, man, I'm sorry that wasn't as good as I thought it would be, like, but thank you for watching. And he'll be like, nah, I was just kidding. Like they'll feel bad even through the computer. I found like the hack. Like just acknowledge them, but be nice to them anyway, and like
yeah.
ignore that they were being mean. And like their true self will come out and they're like, ah, no, okay, I didn't mean it. So it's nice to
Man,
flip a
look,
hater real quick.
look. Sometimes I take the high road, but man, if you catch me at the wrong time, I'm literally looking at it from the fact that you took time out of your day to
Yeah.
do that. So
Yep.
I'm gonna match that. You don't want to keep going back and forth. Like that's not what you want to do. Like people get me up because they see that I'm modeling and I'm
That's what I'm
nice.
saying. But like, what kind of stuff do they say to you? Like, what kind? I get hate. Like, I get compared to like, so like they say Trevor Wallace, or they'll say Gordon Ramsay, or just funny stuff like you're a douche or whatever. Like, what kind of stuff would they say about you? Like, what kind of comments do you get? You probably don't get
Uh
very many bad comments.
no, bro. I mean, I don't get very many, but there's a time where like the spam accounts is a whole
Mm,
different ball game. That's what makes it so interesting. Like sometimes you can tell the difference if you're dealing with a spam account or if you're dealing with a real person. You go to the profile, you do a little bit of
it's
recon,
all
you're like,
cartoon pictures, or they don't have
yeah,
very many friends, or yada yada
yeah.
yada.
But then you do have those profiles that you're like, okay, this is a real person. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
kind of scroll through their pictures to see what they got going on.
Find some
Then I
dirt.
might, yeah, I might come back and use that against you. I'm like, I know you're not
Uh,
talking about me looking like that. It could
mm-hmm.
be, it could be something about the outfit. It could be, um, what's interesting. Like my following is predominantly women, and then it'll be a chick that gets out of pocket based on something I've done in the video or something I'm wearing, and they'll throw their emotions on me and be like, "Oh, I would never date such and such a man like this," or what. I'm who the fuck
Really?
was look who the who's looking to date you in the first place? Like
That's
what
crazy. Who's asking for your opinion?
facts?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get that type of stuff too. But I gotta say, most of my following is dudes, so I wish I could. I wish I could switch it and get mostly girls, but that's funny.
Dude,
Yeah, cars. The girls don't like cars, bro. Every time like I pull up in a new car, because like right now I got a GTR. Everybody's like, man, I bet you get so much chicks with that, and it's like I get a lot of dudes with this. You pull up to a place, the
yeah.
boyfriends are walking up to me like, bro, that car's so sick. Like never once is the girl like, nice car, and like wants to get in it. That's not how this works. So yeah, girls don't like cars. I could tell you by like per capita, women don't like cars. There are a
And you
few
got
that do, but
and you got Godzilla. You got a rocket. That's a
yeah, that thing is fast,
beautiful
bro.
car. Beautiful car,
Yeah, I
by the
love it.
way.
Thank you. I
Man,
appreciate that. Yeah, I've always
what
wanted one.
what year is yours?
I got a 16
16. Okay.
GTR. Yep. Yeah, dude, those things are incredibly expensive, man. The '09s with like 50, 60,000 miles, they still want
Oh,
like 80, 85K for them.
I know. They
So I bought a
don't lose their
16.
value.
So no, but the reason why I bought a 16 though is because apparently the transmissions like just go out in all the '09 through like 14 models or
Uh
something like that. So I know that the 16 has the newer transmission that's apparently like bulletproof. So I
okay.
bought that one because I'm definitely not trying to have a expensive car like that break down, because that's like 20 G's to fix, and I would just I don't even know what I would do if that car broke down. I'm living life on the edge, bro.
I feel you.
If you
I
don't live
fucking
life
feel
on
you.
the edge, then you don't leave room for everybody else.
Right.
So
So
yeah, I
is this your favorite car that you've
you know
owned?
what? Like I have always said that I don't really have a favorite, but I will say, yeah, the GTR is definitely my favorite car I've ever had. Only because since I was in ninth grade, that was when they came out, and like they've always been the supercar killer. Like you can put 10 grand into that, and you can beat $1 million Lamborghini. So, like, yeah, they're fast. They're like really fast, and they look cool. They catch everybody's eyes. I've never had one that gets so much attention,
Yeah.
which I gotta say I love. I'm not afraid to admit that. Like if I love cars and I love something, I want other people to love it too, and I want to be recognized for it. So it's nice to have that. But
That's
yeah, for
dope.
sure, all around, bro, all around, it is my favorite car, and I've had like 30 of them. You name it: Dodge Vipers, Corvette C8, Camaro ZL11 LE. I had the SS1 LE as well. The Supras. I mean, everything. C7 Corvette, C5 Corvette. I mean, literally just a ton of cars. So the next step for me is a Lamborghini or something. GTR was like the next step that I have, but
Yeah.
now I've got nowhere else to go, like besides like a Huracan or some type of Ferrari. And I just, that's a hard step to take.
Right.
I, I feel like I'd have to like 10x my money to feel comfortable spending that type of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to be real comfortable monetarily in order to make a move like that. So, what about you? Are you into cars? Like, I almost feel like you're kind of into cars.
No,
Just
no,
hearing
I
what you.
love cars, love everything about them. I do want to move more into that space as time goes on. Like I haven't gotten the one that I wanted just yet. It just hasn't
Mm,
been top
what
like
do you
top
want?
priority.
What do you want?
Man, it's a toss up between like I love the S197 platforms. Like I would love a 14 uh Mustang GT. Like I just murdered out. I would love one of those right now.
A 14 model? You
Yeah,
like that body style, that front
I
end or
love
whatever?
the yes, I love it.
So pre
Um
the 15 where they changed all the headlights and everything like that.
I love that 14 body. If it wasn't, I guess if it's not that,
That's not even a terrible, like, unattainable goal, even.
yeah, yeah. It's just like not top priority right now. I do want something
Yeah.
that I can build. Like I'm not
Yeah.
crazy about getting something bought. So I would go on the lower end as far as price wise and just start building out.
Okay.
If it's
That
yeah,
makes sense.
if it's not that, I would go for that Camaro SS 1LE. I would go for one of those. I do really like that a
Fun
lot.
car, man.
Fun
I
car.
have one. Mine was in that they call it shock green, but it really looks yellow. It's like a tennis ball color, and it
Yeah. I
had
know what
like
you're talking about.
the matte black hood. It was a different color. I mean, I didn't mind it because I don't really care, but a lot of people either loved it or hated that color. But I will say, as a car, bro, it looked pretty badass and it was fast and stuff. And dude, you could get one, man. I remember I bought mine for like 36 grand, and then I ended up trading it within the same month for 33 grand, and I bought my Supra.
Okay.
So they seem somewhat like affordable too. Like, I mean, dude, 33 grand, you get like 500 horsepower almost. It's like 460 or something like that, 465.
That's damn
Just like,
good.
yeah, yeah. So can't really beat it. And I don't know if you like manuals or automatics, but
It's gonna
the
be
Camaro
automatic.
SS, yeah, they come in both. The Camaros do. Now I don't know if the one LE. No, I think the one LEs do come in both.
Yeah. Yep.
The SS one LEs I think come in both. Now I don't know if the ZL one LE comes in automatic. I believe it probably does though.
I think it does.
I have a feeling they do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
I
They
owned
do.
I had manual in both, but that was just what was available. I didn't really care, but I will say having a manual is pretty fun. You don't know how to drive a manual, do you?
Dude, I did not catch that wave.
Calling him out. Hey, I didn't either though. Let me tell you something though. We grew up in a time where we didn't catch like our like 10 years before us caught that wave for sure. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the only reason I know how is when I started the car business. I was 23 years old and we had to move around these cheap little Versas, these Nissan Versas, and they were
Mhm.
manual. So I wasn't scared to like
Okay.
mess up a clutch or two. So I just get in the back of the parking lot and they'd be like, move it. And I'm like, okay. And I already knew how to drive a motorcycle. So I understood how a clutch worked and shifting gears. It was just a different
Okay.
format, I guess. And I learned it pretty quick. Like it's not terribly hard to learn, to be honest. So people who brag about it, like it's not hard to learn.
Okay.
So I don't even know why people brag that they know how to drive a manual because it's really not hard. So, but it is fun though. I will tell you, it's fun. If you ever did learn, I think you would like it
It's
because
not
you get the.
off the list.
I'll tell you, man. Like, because you watch the Fast and Furious movies like that, or you went
Yeah.
to the arcades and play with those little shifty things. You know, when you're in
I
the race car.
envy. I envy
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. It's like doing it in real life. Like I remember growing up playing with those all the time. Ka-ching, ka-ching, you know, like you just get to do it in real life, and it's fun.
Okay.
Even though GTRs they don't come in manuals, so but
Damn, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
GTRs don't come in them. They come with a dual clutch transmission, so they shift so fast that like manuals will not be around much longer.
Yeah.
Just because transmission shift so much faster than a human can. And if your idea is to make a fast car, you can't have it be manual because a human cannot keep up with what the transmission could do. So
Right.
you're just making your car slower if you make it manual. So that's why none of your high dollar Lamborghinis or anything like that come in manual anymore because they're just so much faster with a transmission that's automatic. So good news for you is that you'll never have to say you don't know how to drive one because they won't really exist. So because I know, yeah,
But
if you ever talk about cars, people always cap and they always say, like, oh, you got to get the manual, got to get the manual.
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I've had both. Like, it doesn't matter.
And I'm not
And
I'm not pressed about it. I'm like, I just want some that's fairly fast that I enjoy driving that I can mod. I'm
well,
simple. Like
yeah,
I'm
you live in LA too, bro. And let me tell you, you don't want a manual out there because you have to hold down that clutch every time you stop, and your left calf muscle starts to hurt so bad in your ankle. It's not fun being in traffic or
mm,
stop and go with a manual because that the clutch isn't light. You have to push that down, and it starts to you get fatigued from it. So, if I lived in LA, I wouldn't even think about getting a manual for real.
oh, no. Like we in
Which, by
traffic
the way, how do
all
you
the
deal with
time.
that? Do
Just
you
living it.
do you just take public transportation or something? Like, because I went
No,
out
no,
there to
no.
visit, I hated it. I hated the traffic out there. It'd be like a mile and a half, and you'd be like 30 minutes away just because the lights take forever. It's terrible.
Dude.
Like,
LA teaches you patience because you don't have a choice but to be patient. And
right,
you sometimes you have to base your day around maybe like one or two
the
things.
commute.
Yeah, yeah, especially the commute. So for the people that are newcomers to LA, you're traveling to LA anytime soon, you've never been here before, do not have it in your itinerary to try to do 10 things in a day because it's not going to happen. Especially if you're
Mm-mm.
talking about spread out. You want to go hiking, you want to go to Santa Monica, you want to go shopping Beverly Hills, you got to split all this up because it's not happening. I guarantee it. If you can make it happen, please show me. I would love to see
Mm-hmm.
it.
You get one of them scooters. That's how you do it. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it. But dude, it don't even matter, bro. Like literally, I'm talking a mile and a half will take you forever to get there. And maybe I was just at a bad time. Maybe it was just a high traffic time, like 5 in the
It's always
afternoon
like
or
that.
something. Okay, yeah, bro. Let me
It's
tell you,
always
it
like
was terrible. It was like 40. It's not as bad as Brooklyn though, because I've been to Brooklyn a few times, and I was seeing the place I wanted to go. It was less than a block and a half. I could.
that.
What just happened? Oh,
So you think you went out for a
yeah, I got a
second?
call for some reason. Oh, here,
Oh,
hold up.
okay.
I can turn my cam back on. Boom, back. But yeah, I could see the place, and I was so frustrated. I wanted to park the car in the middle of the street and walk there, and it literally was almost an hour, and I could see the place. So LA
It's,
isn't as bad
no,
as
no,
that, but
no. It's no. It's like that at times. Like when you can see downtown and know that on a good day. A lot of times you're talking early in the morning before people have to go to work, or super late at night when there's really nobody out. I
uh
can
huh.
get from down. I can get from downtown to Hollywood late night, maybe past midnight or so.
Just
20
fine.
25 minutes. Yeah, 20
Yeah,
25 minutes. Easy.
yeah.
Trying to go downtown midday. What time is it? Okay, it's still pretty chill right now. Let's say 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I can literally see downtown, and we're just inching down the highway.
Oh, I
We're
can't.
inching, and when you
Yeah,
have to do, it's terrible when you got to do because
I
you
rented
got to.
a Challenger when I was in LA back in 2018. I went to Coachella, but we spent like 3 4 days in LA. And yeah, driving in the daytime absolutely terrible, but like it was like 11:30 at night. I was cruising through the streets near downtown LA, just
Yeah,
hearing the exhaust off the buildings and stuff. It was so much nicer at nighttime.
yeah,
It's almost like
bro.
you'd have to work third shift to like survive down there in that traffic. How do people get to work, dude? Like it don't even make sense.
I mean, it's different for everybody because you got a lot of people that live outside of the central area of Hollywood, but they work here. So depending on where you are, it might take you an hour. If you're in the valley, it could take you 45 minutes to an hour to get down here. But some people live past that. You got some people. Look, I know people that live in Santa Monica and they got to commute to Hollywood every day or downtown every day, and it's a hike for them, and they got to be up super early or leave super
Yeah,
early.
no, see,
There's really no way around it.
that's not a life worth living to me,
Yeah.
bro. Like every time I get a new job or whatever, I always buy a house or rent an apartment near it for real. Like I live 40 minutes away from here, and I bought this house just to be 15 minutes from work, the one I live in now. And when I lived out in a place called Eastgate out here, I stayed 5 minutes around the corner. The only shitty thing is getting a new job, like buying a new place
Right,
or a new
right.
apartment. But I try to stay at a place for a long time. Like I've been in my current one for like 3, 4 years now. So
Okay.
it's not terrible, but I hate, dude, I can't. Who wants to spend 2 more hours of their life just getting to somewhere to
Yeah.
work? I value
Dude,
my sleep and my free time.
that's what LA is though, just as a whole. It's a city full of creatives,
Yeah,
or just people a lot of people are self-employed in regards to, being an actor, being a model, whatever the case may be. And it's gig work. Like people literally survive off in gig work. Is gig to gig. It might be like if I book a job for a movie or a show, we may film an hour away or like 45 minutes away, and I got to commute 45 minutes to an hour, maybe 4 to 5 days consecutively. But then I don't have to do it anymore. But then I might
yeah.
have to. Another project is at a different location, so it kind of changes all the time. And as much as I would love to base my living
Everything
situation
10 minutes from your
yeah,
house.
it doesn't work. It just doesn't work
No.
in
Do
LA.
you
Like I
like that
can.
lifestyle? Like on a more personal level? Like it just seems like you're in it now, bro. Like if you look at your Instagram, dude, that's why it seems like you were born and bred for that. But like you really did grow up in Michigan. When did you move out? How old were you, real quick, when you left?
So I was 28 when I left, like when I left
Okay.
Michigan. So
Yeah.
I did
Do
a
you
lot.
do you like that lifestyle better? The LA lifestyle?
Yeah, you know what? It's a love hate relationship, but the reason why I love it because it's just infinite opportunity, and
Hmm.
there's no caps on anything. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
like you get exactly what you put into it. So by default, like you got to hustle. That's why I take my relationships very seriously. Like I always chime in, I'll check up on my people. Not because I need anything, but like, yo, I'm hitting you up. Yo, you good? How's your family? You need
Hmm.
anything? It's like that has created longevity for me, and just being able to pull from that well. It's
Yeah.
like to be out here and to be reserved, or to be I don't want to say scary, but to be intimidated and not want to put yourself out there. There's no surviving for you. Like
No.
you have to put the fillers out. You have to go to certain events and connect with people and get these resources. It's all hustle and bustle. I feel like I was made for this. It puts me on a high because yeah, are there rough times? Absolutely. Are there times you get no work? Yeah. But as long as I wake up the next day, I get another shot at this. You don't know what can happen. Like it could change just that quick. That's a job. That's this podcast for me. Doing it long enough. Who's to say this won't get picked up as a Spotify exclusive? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah. Who
see.
knows?
I'm just putting the work in, and I'm just inviting dope people on this platform to share their stories, and just kind of shoot the back and forth. I
Yeah.
love, yeah. I just kind of keep the optimistic approach while doing the work at the same time, and I've been fortunate enough to where it's just been blessing me over and over and over again. So I just try to
Yeah.
keep that same momentum. But if I were to
It's
slow
because you're
down,
putting yourself out there.
yeah, and put myself out there and not being afraid to do different. Is this new for me? Absolutely. Are there people out there that have been doing it 10 years plus that are way better than me? Yeah, but I don't even look at them as my competition because we're doing two different things. I know a certain group of people. They may know a certain group of people. We have different formats. I don't even look at that as this is who I have to be. I'll take bits and pieces. I'm like, all right, well, this is the Camp Savage show. This is my format. This is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do this way back, and we're gonna really turn this into a brand. We're gonna turn this into something. So
Yeah.
and I could be crazy. I just got enough faith in myself to keep this going.
Well, I think that's all that really matters, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you look at any of the greats or anybody who ever made it anywhere, bro, like they always started out with no big traction at first, and they just, it wasn't an overnight success. They just kept doing it until eventually enough people caught on that it became a success. You know what I'm saying? And you can say
Yeah.
that about like any like Mr. Beast did not get a billion views his first video. He didn't get it his first couple years.
Hmm.
Like, could you imagine posting for like 2 years consistently and like, oh, finally just got 1,000 followers or something like that, like, and then become like the biggest guy on earth? Like, that's how it works for a lot of people, man. It's not just instantly given to you. So you got to put in that time. And as long as you do that, bro, it doesn't matter. As long as you keep doing this
Yeah.
and you don't change a thing, like it's gonna catch on. You're gonna add a few people every time you post a clip. It's getting 200 people, 100 people, 30 people, don't matter every
Yeah.
time though. And then 1,000 episodes later, you got, 250,000 people watching, or who knows, like every time you post, like you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. But consistency is key in all aspects of life. So I feel like a
Hell yeah.
guru on here, like I'm a life expert or something. I
No, look, no, no.
was on here.
Look, I'm glad that you're this outspoken, and you know what I mean? Like I totally don't mind that you had questions for me, because it keeps the ball rolling. It keeps it engaging, and you have a lot of good points, and your background and your success says it all. So that makes total sense to me. And I personally, I can't stand gurus. You
Yeah.
live, you stand on the shit you say, and you really live this life. So I wouldn't even consider you a guru, because I know you know this. I know you see it all the
Yeah.
time. All these
Yes,
people with
sir.
the weird bios, and you can look at the bio and just there's a certain level of stupidity that I can't look past. When I look at certain
Mm.
people's bios, that they'll add to their bio is insane to me. It'll be like from felon to 2 million in sales. Like, bro,
Yeah. Like
why, bro?
scamming. That's why. It's a
Yeah,
scam.
like
It ain't, it's just a scam. From a felon to scamming 2 million people. Like, that's what it
yeah.
is. Yeah, it's a
I hate
scam.
I hate the finessers. I have no love for the finessers, man, because like
They always crash, man. They don't make it forever. They
exactly.
don't make it forever. They hit a height real quick, but it's all on a facade, and then they crash
Yeah,
down. It's the people that come by it like organically and do stuff originally, like
yeah,
you and I. It's a slow game, We're not A-list celebrities by any means, but definitely getting our name out there, definitely making a living off of it, and we'll be where we need to be at the end of the day, as long as we keep our eyes set on our target. So
exactly.
that's, yeah, yes, sir. Uh, we're at 2 hours, bro. What do you think?
No, no, no. I
You
was
got
no,
anything
I
else on
was.
your list?
I do,
All right, what do you got? Hold
but
on.
we.
We can recap it real quick. If I'll answer it quick if you got it. I know we both got days to get back to,
Let me
but
see.
if you did, because this might be the last Mopar Brody podcast you ever get, till you reach back out to me, then I'm like, yeah, what's up?
My man, my
Yeah.
man. You know what? I did want to talk about this highlight, because I thought this was so brilliant, and it was going back to that music video. Like when and I can't remember how many you said you've done, but there was one in particular, because I remember commenting on it, and I thought it
Mm.
was so brilliant, because it was making the best use out of what you had in front of you, is what you're used to. You're on the lot and you're just shooting a music video, and I'm like, I can't name any person I know that are in sales, specifically car sales, or shooting music videos on their lot and just enjoy doing it, not feeling forced, just wanted to do the because it was gonna be fire, and it was part of entertainment, and it's part of the brand. I just I gotta give you kudos for that.
Oh,
That was fire.
it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's fun. It's a lot of work though. It's a
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
From like, you got to find a beat, write the whole verse, then you got to go to the studio, record, give them the beat, have them record it, then they got to mix, master, edit it, and then you got to bring in the videographer, and then they got to have the beat, and then you got to get all these different scenes going, and you're just jumping up and down for like an hour, 2 hours, to get all these different scenes and stuff, and it's a lot of work, but like it's fun.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it, man. I enjoy anything with film, though. I'm surprised that I'm not, trying to be an extra. I just don't got a face like yours, bro. So that's
Thank
what
you,
it
brother.
is. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah.
Look,
So you just want to give me the props on it? Is that what it was?
I wanted to highlight that, and I will show that video. I'm gonna show you guys this video for sure. Like
Which
it's
which
gonna.
one do you think it was? Was it the Dodge one? Because I
I
had
think it.
two from Nissan and one from Dodge, like the
I think this
Mopar
was a
baby.
Dodge. I think it was a
The
Mopar.
Mopar baby one? Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was a
okay, okay.
Mopar
Yeah.
because like I don't know how you feel about it, but I can appreciate obviously the initiative to do it,
Hmm.
the strategy behind it, and then just the willingness to put yourself out there. And I feel like as a creative or just as a person in sales as a whole, we always looking for that next thing. But
Hmm.
it's I think that was a moment to really soak that in. Like, look, yeah, I'm a car salesman, but not only am I a car salesman, I'm a brand, and not only am I a brand, I do music, I do this, I do videography, film, I write. That's a lot to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
certain shit that
yeah.
we take for granted because vast majority of the people, I mean, not only in your space, but just vast majority of people won't sign up to do that because they feel like they're gonna look stupid or they feel like, oh,
Yeah.
this is not gonna work. They're not willing to take that chance. So
You're right. You're 100% right. And I don't know what the hell is wrong with me, but like I don't think about that. You know what I'm
don't
saying? Like,
don't
yeah,
downplay that. That is a
yeah.
big
Like I
deal.
don't like a lot of people really do think about that. Like it's hard to get people to be in your videos. You know what I'm saying? They're like, ah, no,
Yeah,
but like, and I just don't even think about. And I know that I'm going to get bad comments and this, that, and the other, but I feel like the good always outweighs the bad so much. And like, if you believe in yourself and it's halfway decent, did you take a shot? What'd you just do?
I did take a shot.
Oh, hold on, bro. Hold up. Let me do the math here, though. If we start at noon my time, is that 9 a.m. your time?
Yes.
All right, let it be known. Donny Savage took a shot at what is now like what 11.
Hey
I'm
man, this
jealous.
is this
Yo,
this is
I
just the
stood.
usual program, you know.
That's what's up, bro. I wish you would have known. I would have known. You should have told me. I would have had mine ready. We
Oh,
could have. We could. Hey, next time, bro. Let's do
round
another
two.
one.
Round
No,
two.
round two, but like no holding back. Like
Okay.
we'll cheers. We'll go a little shot for shot. Get it going. Really get the vibe going.
Say
Because I'm
less.
100% sober, and I don't know if that's fair. That's not a level playing ground. You got
Oh,
the upper hand,
damn.
bro. You're
Damn, I
smooth
cheated.
right now.
I
Yo, you
cheated.
did.
All right, look. Okay, to be fair, I typically don't do this, but I'm high 99.9% of the time. So I
Okay.
wake up early in the morning. I take my gummy at 9.
Okay. That
I'm
makes sense.
fully functional. Bowl is packed and ready. I haven't hit this yet, but I'll have one rolled,
Fair
smoke,
enough.
take my dog for a walk, and then I get right to it. Whether it's
Hell yeah.
filming, scripting, like auditioning, doesn't matter what it is. I go to the gym high. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
See, oh, bro, like me, I cannot drink or smoke before I go to the gym. I don't know why. I've done it before, but like I get sober and then I do it afterwards. I don't know if I use it as like a reward system, like go to the gym and then you're
Yeah,
good, or what. But like I just feel like it alters my mind state, and it's a different experience for me at the gym for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because it makes me
it's,
anxious though. I'll just be like,
it's so
oh my God,
sad.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Yeah, dude, it just
It's so
messes with
sad,
me.
bro.
I used to smoke so much, it's not even funny. And then like just I don't know what happened. If the slowing down just kind of lowers your tolerance, and then you get reintroduced to it again, and then the anxiety
Yeah,
comes back from like the old days
yeah,
or what it is. But yeah, I just can't. I just like going to the gym sober, and then afterwards I'm down for whatever. So
dude. I
yeah,
get the
but
best workouts. I get the best work. I
I
feel
used to feel like that, like as a
free.
teenager, like in my early 20s too. Like I used to feel like, oh my God, like this is better. I could focus more, and or
Yeah,
whatever the hell I was thinking. But I don't know. Now I just get too much like, dude, I don't think I'm breathing right. Why are they looking at me? Like just the anxiety is too real. So, but yeah, that's just when it comes to smoking. I pretty much put that stuff down, but I drink like crazy though. I
so I
drink.
can see
You can't put it down.
California.
Well,
I
yeah,
used
that's what I'm
to.
saying.
I
You're really
used
living
to.
that LA lifestyle, but they threatened to. Well, when I first got into car sales, I was making more money than I've ever made before in my life, and they caught somebody like dealing drugs. So
Oh
they started
shit.
drug testing everyone. And now let me tell you, the car business is like the Wolf of Wall Street. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were doing cocaine off tables, this, that, and the other. Like that is that people do like in this industry. And they started drug testing. I quit weed and I was smoking like 4 or 5 blunts a day. I wasn't like crazy, crazy, but like I was heavy. And when they did that, I was like, you know what? This is not worth me losing like the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I was
That's fair.
broke. Before I got in the car business, bro, I was broke. If I got a speeding ticket, I'm like, dude, which bill am I not paying this month? So I stopped for a whole summer, like 3, 4 months. They were random. I mean, and it would be like, you'd be sitting there one day and they'd be like, Anthony, go down to the place to get tested. And I'm like, oh, this guy's sitting right next to me. Am I next? You know? So
Yeah.
I really quit. And then like 4 months later, when the coast was clear, I tried to get back into it. And like, it was not working. And I was so surprised. Like,
Damn.
I just cleared my system. And then, like, yeah, I never felt the same. I started feeling like tired. Like when I
Mhm.
take it, I get tired. On the come down, you're tired. Sometimes you get a headache on the come down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then something else is like I noticed that when I was on it, because I was on it for so long, I was depressed a little bit. Like do you ever get that? Like I felt like I was never gonna be anything more than what I was, you know, like as I was taking it every day. And it just was something wasn't right, like this dark cloud. I couldn't necessarily explain it, but there's just this small dark cloud following me. But then when I got off of it for like 2 weeks, I was just a little more happy. And I think there
Mhm.
is a scientific excuse for that, which is that you're depleting your serotonin levels when you're on it because you feel so great when you're on it that
Mhm.
your body's like the reserves are depleted. Like so your
Okay.
serotonin levels are probably a little lower. I would imagine that's probably what it is, but a lot of people like my brother, he needs it to even get through the day. Like he's like you said, you get it, you get right, that way you can get going. He's the same way. He's anxious how I am on it without it. So he needs it to even like function.
Okay.
So he's the same as like he's worse than even I was. And I used to smoke him out till he used to fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? I've got so many videos of him falling asleep right next to me after we just smoked a blunt, and now it's crazy to think this dude's doing like dab after dab after dab, and
Nah, like
just
that shit I
hustle.
won't
No,
I
he's
won't I won't do.
hardcore.
I won't do. Like I have my limits. Like I'll
So
smoke.
you just stick to the leaf, or and
Yeah,
like the little
predominantly.
pens. Do you do the
Uh
pens? Everybody's doing those pens nowadays.
I'm not crazy about the pen. It's just
Me either. I never was. It was always bud for me. Like,
yeah. If I were run out of bud, I might hit the pen, but like I'm not crazy about it. But the
so are
the gum
you?
is
Are you White Owl, Backwood, or Papers,
only
or do you do
papers.
Swisher? Oh, you just do
Papers.
Papers, just to
Papers.
stay as pure as possible.
Papers only.
Never get the tobacco in there.
Nope.
That's interesting. There's a lot
I'm
of
good.
purists like that. Yeah, that's why you do
Yeah.
stick to the bowls and the paper only.
Yep.
That makes
That's
sense.
and I'm good and I never like I don't have bad moments when I'm high. Like I'm always leveled. Like I'm good to go. You put me in a room in front of 100 people, I'm talking to 100 people. Like I can go do a speech, I can go do a speaking engagement, I can go do a meet and greet, I can do an audition, I can be on set and do my
Yeah,
lines.
you're
I can
you're really good at being level with it.
yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
yeah, like it almost does put you down to it. I mean, some people like we're not all wired the same, bro. Our biology and our
Right.
chemistry is different. So like some people need to get the baseline. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
function. Me, that pick me out. Like I'm super motivated without it. I'll be on it. I'm like going to the gym, bro. I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to lay down and watch a movie. It is fun, but like the anxiety though, off. Man, there's nothing scarier than like feeling like you can't
Dude.
breathe or something. That don't hit me. Like I know it don't hit you because it never hit me when I was in the thick of it. When I was doing 3, 4, 5 a day, I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I could just keep smoking forever. You know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah.
once you stop and you let that clear out for like 3 months and you get back into it, you're like, oh, okay. This doesn't feel the same. I think it just hits you harder if you don't already have the tolerance built up.
I have no intentions
Yeah. Hey, nothing wrong. It's only getting more
taking
and
a
more
break.
legal everywhere you go, bro.
Right.
So you can't fly with it yet, though, can you? So if you ever go
Yeah.
places, you can
Yeah, you
fly
can
with
fly.
it. Just
Cer-
medical or whatever.
certain places. No, you can. I believe in your carry on, you can have a certain amount of grams. Because I mean,
Really?
because I definitely take my gummies and with me too.
Yeah,
Which
gummies would probably be easier to get away with, I would imagine. But I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know. I didn't know you
yeah,
could fly with that stuff.
yeah, you can take. I think you could take a certain amount of flour. I think it just depends if the state that you're
That's what I was gonna
traveling
say. What if
to.
it's not legal?
Yeah, so that don't quote me on that, but
Yeah, we're
I
giving
did.
terrible information. You're the
Yeah,
direct
yeah.
result of like 20 arrests after this podcast.
Hey, don't do what I do. I'm just telling you what I do.
Yeah,
Don't do what I do.
yeah, right. That's funny. Yeah, here it's legalized recreationally, but like, or it's decriminalized, I believe, up to like an ounce or something like that. So
I'm about to hit. You sitting
yeah,
talking about
hit
hitting this
it. I
fucking
don't
ball.
care. Hit it. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
There
He
we
was
go.
waiting. He was like, "Let me end this podcast so I can hit this bowl." Like, bro, it don't matter to me, bro.
Nah, bro. No,
We all
no. To
good.
be no. To be fair, I wanted to roll, but I was having so many issues with my camera. It cut into my rolling time.
Oh, you didn't get to smoke beforehand?
No, like I took a gummy, but I was expecting to have one
Ah,
rolled while I was doing this because I was going to smoke and do this at the same time, and it's
you
just a
ruined
lot
it.
easier.
Now we got to do another one.
It's
You
my
got to invite
fucking
me on.
camera.
Make me another one down the line.
No,
Invite me
no,
again.
no, no. We can definitely run this back. I would love to run this back. That would be
Hell yeah.
dope. And then
Cool.
hopefully by the next time you go live and you can give me some feedback of how it went for you. Or if you would
Yeah,
like, I would even be down to go live with you if you just wanted to go live and shoot the shit. Like
bro.
I'm
Let's
down.
go live together. That's a good idea. I
I'm
would do
down.
that.
I'm down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be my first time.
Okay.
First time
We can do
with
it.
you, bro. That'd be pretty dope.
Let's
I
do
think
it.
this is yeah. That'd be pretty cool. What would we do it just on here, like you said, and just how
We
would we
can
do?
do it.
Or we can just meet up on one of the sites, really. However, I
We
don't know.
can
You're the guy.
we can do IG. We can IG and just keep it simple. I'll on my end, I'll probably just use my webcam.
The
It's just a fucking lot better and just like I like the clarity.
quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I need to get me one of those cameras. I just hate filming, dude. Like, I like being the guy in front of the camera. I don't want to do all the setup, the lights, the editing. I hate that. I hate that.
Hey
So,
man, you preach it to the choir, man.
oh, okay. I'll just make sure.
Nah, but
Yeah.
like I mean, I'm fortunate enough now to like I have a video editor like specifically for the
Okay.
podcast. And AD, I appreciate you, dog. Man, you make me look good, man. I gotta give you your flowers because I couldn't do this. I couldn't be able to wear all these hats. It would burn me out.
Mm. Yep.
So
That
so I
and the editing is the worst part.
yeah yeah. Like
It
I will
is.
purposely not. There's so many videos that just never made it to even pre-production because I'm already thinking of what post-production is gonna look like, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I see the vision. It has to be edited a certain type of way. Hence, I have to edit it, and I'm like, well,
Nah.
I'm probably not gonna make this video then. So
Yeah. Thank God I got a friend who he I moved here and I met him at the gym and he had seen the videos before. And about a year in, I convinced him to quit his job and start his own business, and he's doing so great. But another thing that he took after me was the social media thing. So he started up with TikTok, and he bought the professional camera, and he does the editing, and he sets the shit at the gym. So I just toss my files over to him, and I'm like, "Hey, man, just make this look cool," and then he'll
that's
send it back to me because he's
perfect,
my boy. So yeah, I'm lucky in that aspect. That I found somebody because I can't do it. I hate it. I don't have the patience for it.
dude. It takes a lot out of you. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and that's why I can
Like
only edit when I'm high. I'm sober. There's no
I could see that
ambient, so
I could see that making things easier for sure.
yeah. Because like
I don't know.
I will sit down, play music in the background, and just be fully dedicated.
Just vibe.
Yeah, just vibe out and like boom, we doing this, and then I'm getting ideas. I get all of my ideas from having dank tanks. Like I literally have time that I
Yeah.
set aside to roll up and do nothing, but just let ideas hit me, and then I put them in my notes, and then boom, next thing I
But have you
know,
ever had that feeling though, man? Like I tried writing down ideas while I was high once, and then I got sober, and I was like, these are retarded. His ideas are so stupid.
uh,
I think I'm so brilliant when I'm high. I feel like everyone does.
I don't ever look at them
But I
as
will
a
say some different angles do come at you though. Like you can
yeah,
definitely have a whole nother side of things that you would never think of when you're sober.
yeah,
So yeah, I definitely think that that definitely works. So that's good that
yeah,
you get to enter that headspace and then just jot it down. Is that what you do? You just write them down or whatever?
yeah. Like I kid you not, I have specific time that I set aside for dank tanks. Like you see the RGB lights now. Like I got the
Yeah.
I have to set up for the show specifically. But when I do my dank tanks, everything in here is green. All the lights green. I'm playing music. I roll up. I kick back, and I just let the ideas hit me. And when they hit me, I go straight to my notes, jot them down, go to Chat GPT, build out my outline. Then if there's like visuals or inspo, I piece everything together, and then
You're
I
already
just
utilizing AI for
I
your ideas.
I use AI for everything. AI is
Damn.
just from
I've not
my
even gotten on ChatGPT yet. I've never even played with it. The most I've ever messed with AI was the Snapchat AI, which is like so watered
dude,
down.
dude.
Yeah, I gotta dabble, bro. Don't you have to like buy it or whatever, like $20 a month or something?
No, there's a free version.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think
Yeah, I
if you
don't even
want
know how to.
like you want the bells and the whistles, and yeah, like there's
What's
more
it called?
features to it.
OpenAI or ChatGPT is what it's
Just
actually called. Like, how do
chat.
you even find it? Google?
Just go, yeah,
Just
just go,
check
go
it.
to the Apple Store, Google Store.
Oh, you can download
There's
it on your phone?
yeah, it's an app.
What's it called?
Chat GPT.
I feel like I've looked for this like just a couple weeks ago. I couldn't find it. It's called ChatGPT on your phone. Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Bet. Yeah.
yeah. Video titles, outlines, coming up with concepts, email templates, cover letters. Uh, I formulate responses to certain brands. It helped me with my building out my press kit. I built up my own press kit. I put all my own outlines together. I put the I mean, obviously I'm going in and I'm fine tuning it to get the output that I need. But yeah, like it builds up my shell. And then I
Yeah.
just I just plug in everything. And then boom, we got something that's unique and original using AI.
I'm about to start using AI.
No,
I'm taking it to the next level.
I would definitely tell you to do so.
Nice.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah. I'm about to get on it. We'll see about those dank tanks though. I'll just be sitting there. I'm like, I can't breathe.
Bro.
It
I got
works.
I'm gonna have one today. What's today? Monday? No, today's Tuesday, right? Today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one today.
There you
After
go. Let me
these
know what you come up with, bro.
I gotta actually gotta roll up before I do these auditions.
You're doing some auditions?
Yeah, I got two commercial auditions I gotta do today. I actually just came back from a commercial job 2 nights ago. I was in Oakland shooting for Jack London Square. They had a hotel out there and a bunch of new restaurants open. So we were shooting lifestyle content, some stills and video for that whole area. It's like a shopping district. They have like restaurant row and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Damn, man, you're just keeping that ball rolling,
Right, you got to, man.
keeping
Got
going.
to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's up, man. All right, well, shit, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You gotta get to your day, homie. So,
All good, man. Hey, real I appreciate you for coming on the Camp Savage show, bro. You didn't have to do it, but you showed up, and this was a fire episode. I appreciate you, my boy.
yes, absolutely. I appreciate you as well. Hopefully, I'm the longest episode. I don't know. I've been dragging
No,
it
no,
out, just trying.
no. This is I D. It is what it is, man. It was a fire episode, but I think this is the longest episode. So like, take your time. You don't have to.
I got the record.
Yeah. No,
That's
but
what's up.
we covered a lot of unique topics, man. I do want to do a recap for anybody that's looking to get into sales or entrepreneurship as a whole, or if you're a diehard creative, like you have to take the initiative to have some type of consistency. You have to have a formula for what you're trying to do, and you have to
Hmm.
set. I hate saying setting real attainable goals because sometimes if goals have to be so out of reach, and wherever you land, you just land.
Hmm.
That's the most That's the most formidable approach that I would say, because it's doable. You never know
Yeah.
what type of situation you'll get yourself in, or what opportunities will present itself. But Brody he has one hell of a story, and he's killing it. And I love the fact that you don't need social media. Like it's not your go-to. It's a tool that you utilize, and that's what people really need to understand at the end of the day. Like this industry is not. I'm keeping honest. It's not sustainable, and it can be rocky at times. So
Mm-hmm.
for the people that have been finessing, putting entrepreneurship on a pedestal, look, you got somebody that has a real career right here, and they're using social media as an additive. It's a tool for them to be able to scale. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with having that security. The game is sold and not told, and it has everybody out here thinking they can be an entrepreneur, and everybody's not fit for that. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to give you your props in that regard, because you're doing it the right way. That I would say.
I appreciate that, bro. It's
Hell
only
yeah.
up from here for both of us.
About to run that bag up.
Yes, sir. Hit me up for the next episode, bro. We'll do it the right way next time, where we'll start off with a shot. That's how you know it's going to be a good podcast. Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah. I got
Cool.
you, man. All right, I'm about to end this now. But next week, I have another really dope guest that I'm bringing on board. Okay. This man is a multifaceted musical technician, assassin, DJ, whatever you want to call it. He's one of my homies. Met him a couple years ago out here in Hollywood. Extremely talented, has a great business sense. So you got to tune in to see who I'm talking about. But next week, every Friday, 7 p.m. EST, you know where to follow your boy. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Camp Savage Show as well. Definitely want to build that page up. I'm dropping all the clips from the show on there. So y'all got to tune into that as well. And also, I do want to plug in that the merch is on the way. And I'm bumping that timeline up. I was thinking Q3, Q2, Q3 of next year. But I think we can get this done either Q1, possibly before that. We're going to figure this out. But thank y'all for tuning in to the Camp Savage Show. I'm out this thing. We got to go pay some bills and get some. And I got to go roll up and yeah, we out.